Yeah, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the NA Essentials Monthly Cup. We are here in the semifinals. We have switched over to a best of three format. We have a fantastic match ahead of us. I am your host, eXtine, and I'm joined by Cornpop. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing excellent eXtine. I'm so excited. We're in the top four now, which means we're getting down to the good stuff.
Hell yes. We definitely have two fantastic teams here tonight. 5hinymareepfan. They got some tough names. We're just going to call them Shiny. And then we have Gewpcci Gang. Gewpcci Gang. That's another tongue twister.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're expecting a lot out of these teams. They've been playing super solid, getting 5-0s in this elimination bracket. This game will determine who will go into the grand finals, and that's a healthy step up in money as well. I'm excited to see this. We're going to be playing three maps, as I mentioned. Process here first, then Goalie Wash and Snake Water if needed.
Yeah, I mean, the third and fourth place teams each walk home with $60, but if you win this match here, you get a chance to play for 600, so a potential 10 times increase in prize money. That's pretty significant, if you say so myself. Now, to be fair, you're going to have to play against either Froyotech or a team that beats Froyotech. So it's not a guaranteed 10 times increase, but even if you get second, that's a 5 times increase, walking over $300 for your team. Not too bad in the least, but we can go over these teams eXtine. Maybe not the full rosters, I don't think they're all in here just yet. But I do want to mention Goopy Gang. If you're following ESCA Intermediate last season or Invite this upcoming season, this is more or less a mix consisting of the Omni 5 players. So this is a team coming in Invite. They're probably looking low Invite. I think they got second Intermediate last season. And so they've moved up as a team. They have had a couple roster changes, but the core is staying the same, and the core is playing here in this tournament. So my money is on them. I know a lot of players on the other team as well, and they're definitely good players. But I think the fact that Goopy Gang are more or less a real team and Invite caliber puts them ahead in my mind.
Yeah. Hedgehog Hero, definitely a demo that's been putting in some work. He was at the Rewind 2 LAN, and Shiny Nazaris, XBS, and Jets in the server with us here. Looks like their last process elimination. Trying to figure out which player he is on that other team right now. But we have everybody in here, so we should be getting started pretty shortly here. Do you want to run down our Goopy Gang roster?
Sure. So I believe they're going to have Cinnamon and Ebsicle playing Scout for them. And then they should have Reflecto playing Soldier. Reflecto was playing on Hooligans for Hire last season. Reflecto on Soldier paired with...
Daffodil. Alexandros is the odd one out. I finally examined the roster, as he does also get on the right team. Thanks for helping us out.
Gotcha. And then it should be no, I think Daffodil should be playing Medic, if I know the players well enough.
Yeah, or Brûlé.
Oh, it's Brûlé in the server?
I don't know if that's B Money. I thought I had this alias script all set up, but B Money might be our girl, Brûlé, holding it down. Our lady, excuse me.
Yeah. And then their demo man, Fig, obviously, is going to be the demo man for their team, and then demo man playing in this match as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Definitely, as we mentioned, best of 3 TF2. So, now we'll be able to see these guys across a couple of maps. Obviously, just, 5 CP, the 30-minute experience, usually you get a pretty good feel on whether one team was dominant or you just get this amazing, super awesome, great game of TF2. But really it does vary quite a bit from map to map, and I prefer seeing teams just over a couple maps and get to see how players adjust too in between the first map and the second map.
Absolutely, and I can confirm that B Money sign is Brûlé. So
okay, fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm more than sure that she will be playing Medic for the team, which puts Daffodil probably over on Soldier, which makes sense to me. He's a versatile player. So yeah, no. On the other team, we can go down the roster. They're not all necessarily playing their correct classes, but We can go over this anyways. Looks like Jets is going to be on Sniper, as well as Shiny, Alexandros, and Azara on Soldier, Hedgehog Hero, the Demo Man himself, and XBS will be playing Medic.
Yeah, Hedgehog Hero slams, so look out for that. But I've also seen some sick pipes from Fig. I'm not sure if that was in the last monthly or in some RGL or a different league, but I know that Fig's got some dangerous pipes as well. Especially Process can be a very important demo battle. We casted a fun game of Process yesterday, but maybe wasn't the closest battle. I'm expecting a bit better of a match here right now.
Yeah, actually, the two maps we casted yesterday, eXtine, Process, and Gully Wash, are going to be our two for sure maps here today. And so, as you said, Process was fun. Gully Wash, in my opinion, was a bit more fun.
That was awesome.
Maybe because the teams were a bit closer in skill. That was right down to the wire. So I'm hoping for matches like this. And because it's the semifinals, I'm kind of expecting something like that from these two teams.
Yeah, definitely, ladies and gentlemen, you guys should scroll through the archives and check out that game from yesterday. It was pretty fantastic. It was our first game of the broadcast. How this monthly tournament works is that on Saturday, there is 5 matches in the Swiss format. So that means as you win or as you lose or you draw, then you will get matched up with people that have a similar record. If you do end up in the top 16, then you will advance to where we are today, which is an elimination bracket. It starts off with best of ones. Now we've made it to a best of 3. And thanks to the support of Twitch.tv, if you're familiar with that site, we are giving away $1,000 to these players. So a healthy chunk of change on the line to help these players with travel funds to future lands, or just buying some equipment. Let's be honest, right? Those 240 hertz monitors aren't cheap.
Not at all, and they could be a huge upgrade to your gameplay. But it looks like we're almost getting ready to go. XPS just left the server. If you've been following the
fantastic,
if you've been following the tournament recently, you know this is the semifinal match, and the other semifinal match we have going on is Midnight Society versus Froyotech. And that one, I mean, most people are going to predict Froyotech. Midnight Society won Open last season, so you know they're a decent team in their own right. We saw them actually; they were the team we saw play on Gully Wash, if you remember that, the first round of this tournament. And so they're good, but beating Froyotech is a tall order. So we won't be casting that one, but regardless of who wins that one, we'll be casting them in the finals.
Yeah, certainly would be a major upset if we were not to cast Froyotech today. That's something I would accept. We'd have to go and pull that STV demo up if the result was that crazy. You know, certainly for Froyotech, Rewind, 2 champions, global champions, possibly awaiting the winner of this match in the grand finals, possibly. And best of 3 here, getting underway. We are live on Process. On blue, it is going to be Gewpcci gang, and on our red, it's going to be Shiny Mare.
Coming in this first mid-fight now, it is a fastball from Alexandros. He's going to be getting into the enemy team's IT, trying to be chased down by Reflecto. He's got that pack, and we'll see if either of them return to this mid-fight in future. Daffodil taking a little bit of early damage, Epsicle as well. Much more aggressive blue team, bombed by Reflecto, but it's going to be Fig who gets the frag on Jets, and there's a whole bunch of players falling on the side of 5hinymareepfan. Players left and right. Finally, Alexandros, the one player who went in behind early in this mid-fight, coming back, just trying to escape back to his own second point, but he's being cornered on by some players. Epsicle trying to chase him out. He's on such low HP, but Epsicle's going to get it.
Yeah, great frag by Epsicle there. Earlier, definitely big frags by Daffodil, getting an awesome rocket on XBS and getting the kill on the medic. That was definitely a powerful mid-fight.
They look like they want to contest this second point, which is a little bit surprising to me. I don't think that Goopy Gang were actually expecting that. They're going to lose Cinnamon Jets. So this push-out has worked. They didn't have too many players here, and the respawns came in fast enough that it was an excellent push-out on the second point. So really well done. Still some fighting in choke now. A lot of spam going down. Jets has run in a little bit too aggressive. Epsicle shuts that down with the help of Brule, and Alexandros in IT also just going to be backing off, not wanting to lose his life after his scout went down.
Reflecto with a nice attempt up jump. Does get Shiny somehow, but blast up in the air, and Azara going to end up getting the finish there. Demo Man Fig pretty banged up here, but Gewpcci gang going to kind of reform in Africa. backside of this whole patio yard area. Daffodil bombing in, does get the kill on XPS there, so nice pick off there on the railing. Jets coming in on the scout, getting some damage done, but not really any frags. And Alexandros getting a kill on Brule. So once again, they're losing the point, but at least they're trading medics. So should be able to at least mount some sort of defense here. Fig wants to see what's going on this point, but I think we'll get shoved back by Shiny. Cinnamon is coming in now, but there are stickies on the points. Players being respawned. Reflecto also backing up the rollout. Nazara unfortunately getting caught up on the door. Alexandros full health, kind of wrapping around, and will clear out the lobby area.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a little bit too aggressive on the side of Cinnamon, but he ended up making it a trade with Nazara, and now he's got an opportunity to come up on off class. He's choosing not to, but now he did have that option if he were to choose.
Yeah.
Jets will be for the enemy team, though, up on Sniper, going to be trying to find some sort of a pick. It's got to be a pretty big pick they want to push out here, but anything to stall will be a big help to their team.
Yeah, this is where, personally, if I was Cinnamon, I would have gone for that. Oh, it's definitely good snipes. I would have gone for that off-class engineer, build a teleporter exit, and just start throwing bodies forward. We're seeing a bit more off-classing in TF2 these days, but players sticking pretty standard. Alexandros was pushing out for a sack there to try to get a pop out of Brule. Not going to happen. Ooh, here's some more interesting off-classing. Daffodil on the spot.
Yeah, I wonder if that's... Yeah, he's walked out of that. So that's going to be their play to try to get in here, assuming there's no defensive aggression from Shiny Mareepfan. It doesn't look like there will be, but Daffodil has now snuck his way in. Fully cloaked up and flanking around.
Did take the ammo, and I think...
Ooh.
Yeah, I think
he gets the better knife. He gets it anyways, and they're going to turn
around.
around.
Here too. Oh, it does! That's a great trade. They popped the Uber out as well. Brule is still held on to it. Has to connect with Fig, but that was easy to do. Also flashes the scout here. We'll be able to just easily swap back and forth as Fig picks up a kill. Abyssal got a kill as well. They're shoving the soldier off. XBS has to be on the point. Is the last one alive and goes down. Excellent play from Gewpcci gang off the back of that Daffodil 2K.
Very nice, and with that, 1-0 on the scoreboard. We're going to come into the second round. That round kind of went all Gewpcci gang. There wasn't a whole lot of fight coming up from Shiny Mareepfan. There was a little bit, especially when they retook that second point, so I'd like to see them bring that a bit stronger here in the second round.
Alexandros quick bomb in on Fig. Great damage, but Fig just going to stand still, get that arrow heal. And now, yeah, Gewpcci gang continuing to just engage here. They send a big bomb over the top. It does find Hedgehog Hero. That was Daffodil giving his life for it. XBS also in some danger. Gets tracked down by Abyssal after half health from the soldier pushing in. But Brule gonna go down to the scattergun of Jets. Jets still fighting here. Pretty low health. So is Abyssal. Cinnamon there for the support. But Abyssal did get the kill himself. Fig now in some trouble though as Alexandros finding himself tossed in the air. Will get the kill on Fig. Gonna be able to pick up the health pack in the sewers. Capture has gone the way of Gewpcci gang.
It's a very close mid-fight, and I'm not even sure that they're going to be able to hold on to it. It looks like there's a lot more players on the side of Shiny Mareepfan in here. However, a lot of players walking through choke. Reflecto now, the one playing Spy. This is a very interesting time. This is definitely not going to be expected from Shiny Mareepfan, from the player Reflecto, or at this point in time on the middle point. So they're going to recap it, but this is a very dangerous prospect. Reflecto, if he went in right now and he is going to decloak, he's behind XP. Yes, but he's going to miss that stab. Shiny shuts him down, and suddenly it's player advantage and Uber advantage in favor of Shiny Mareepfan.
We do have the crits coming out here from Sue or Hedgehog. Not really finding anything quite yet. One last one over the top does get Fig there. Here comes the scattergun after Hedgehog out of bullets. Explosives. The Uber charge has come out, but our players, Shiny Mareepfan, just scattering. So Abyssal and Brule not really able to find anybody. Reflecto looking for an air shot on Alexandros, who pulls the jump up short. Abyssal fighting on the side there, got the kill on Jets, but Alexandros will be able to finish this capture with the help of his team.
So it's gone the other way now. Shiny Mareepfan with the advantage, but again, the push out not quite done. Reflecto getting taken down is not going to help him with that, though. Alexandros dodging the air shot. Big bomb in by Nazara, looking for Brule, but she hits a really nice surf, and suddenly nobody's on her. XPS all over, also in a lot of trouble. 12 HP on the middle point. Pops that Kritzkrieg off once again, and they were able to get Daffodil. I'm not sure if that was actually in the Kritzkrieg, but Nothing more after that. There goes the medic, though. XPS a little bit over aggressive and big with the pipe. Taking down
huge.
Jets. That was a really nice shot. And Daffodil types OMG into the chat after that one.
Definitely Gewpcci game with great aggressiveness there. They just kind of sniffed that they had a slight, numbers advantage window, as well as the crits being down. They pushed off Uber, very aggressive out of last, but certainly paid off for him. Now Nazara getting in there and kind of bleeding a little bit. That'll hinder their chances of defending second here. XBS on the Uber charge now. Big bomb coming in, and Alexandros has gone down. Hedgehog Hero going down now as well, just in exchange for Daffodil. So not bad. Yeah, Gewpcci pushing in.
Already getting a little bit of time on point here, but that second point didn't get capped off just in time. Reflective with the frag on XPS. Shiny goes down as well. This is a complete disaster. Players are scattered all over the place. Alexandros, it's a nice shot, but it's not going to matter because Figs hits another one onto him. And that's going to be the round 2-0. They started off strong in that second round eXtine, but it wasn't enough. They got clawed all the way back.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, that whole exchange on second. Certainly the fight seemed on the cusp of going well. I think for sure at least one aspect was Alexandros was kind of focused at the people that he was engaging, and he needed to shift his focus left. He had some easy shots to his left. He could have helped his team out, and I think they would have won the fight if there was a little bit more team awareness. Right now, Alexandros shifting to the far right side, trying to get some crossfire going on. We do have Reflecto looking to come out of IT. He does come in with a good bomb. XBS throwing around. Oh, Reflecto, great combo. Gets pistoled down by Jets, but he did his job. Alexandros and Daffodil trading in the sewer as well. Jets and Hedgehog here, the last one's up. Brule really banged up as escape back to the health pack on IT side. Abyssal now pushing in here. Hedgehog Hero can't quite get the finish. Jets now cleaning that up. Hedgehog Hero at 100 health. Jets now takes out Fig as well. Just on top of Brule. Brule is going to try to get the saw arrow combos. It hits Jets once again. Brule sneaking away is going to get some support here. Reflecto coming in, gets that clean up. Brule health pack in the lobby. She is A-OK.
Jet's got to be kicking himself after that one. He went on a 3K on the mid and almost got that fourth frag. He blames ammo in the chat, but that was beef regardless. I don't care what he says. He should have had that Brule kill, but regardless, I mean, he managed to do a lot on that mid for his team, and they did end up capping the point anyways. They're still trying to fight over it here. Nazara bombs in, takes a lot of damage, trying to get up through sewers. Looks like he will. Never mind, someone cleans him up, and the U-charge popped off by Brule. Running into the second point, they wanted to secure the medic frag. XPS got pretty low down to about 50 HP, but is going to have some scouts in front of him and will be able to survive. So that's going to put Ubercharge advantage back in favor of 5hinymareepfan, and it's going to make them, in just a couple seconds, able to pop in on this aggressive team. There they go, popping up on Hedgehog Hero. He's landing the pipes. Big gets taken down, cleaned up by Shiny. Epsicle's run down in the back side. He's going to be meeting some players in choke. Alexandros wins that 1v1, though. Very nicely done. Finally cleaned up by Nazara. Meanwhile, back over by Choke. Daffodil trying to throw back some players. Reflecto able to flank in through sewers. Coming in, but just once again watching him, but he lands right on the medic regardless. Great job by Reflector. Takes down XBS as well as Shiny. With players all over the place. Jets trying to get this final frag on Brule, but Cinnamon cleans it up, and this is going to be the chaos ending here, eXtine.
Yeah, that Cinnamon Daffodil combo is just destroying right now. Cinnamon just protecting against Jets right at the end there. Just spotting these rotations out as well. Nazara is trying to come in through kind of that lower IT area. Cinnamon spots that out. Daffodil helps close down that kill. They got a lot of work done in that last fight, and continuing to work forward here. Abyssal also just super dangerous right now. They're just gonna send the soldier right through the guts. Has to back up a little bit. I think that was Reflecto. Either way, Fig getting in here. Sticky's on the sentry gun, and they have an Uber charge that they're just sitting on. Finally gonna pop it here, because kind of why not at this point. There are still Stickies all over the point. They're gonna have to try to find the demo man. Or get somebody to blast those off eventually. Nobody has yet. Alexandros up top gets picked off, but Reflecto has gone down for Gewpcci gang, and they have no pressure on the point yet. Brule completely alone here. Cinnamon on the left is just, super low health, gets killed by the roller. That Hedgehog Hero roller. Brule escapes at least, but small consolation.
Yeah, really needs to be more point pressure from the attacking team there. I mean,
Mhm.
you pushed everybody back in a spawn, and then because there were so many stickies on it, I think every player who would have jumped on the point kind of just looked at it and they're like, I don't really want to jump on a point for this sticky. But somebody has to. Somebody's got to clear those, and it's not going to work out if you don't.
And now XBS has a full charge here, ready to come out of IT. They're going to get both soldiers. Alexander gets more of a skip across, but great save with the flash at the end, reconnecting. He just couldn't get any damage, though, because Gewpcci gang completely noped out of there. And Nazara is indeed the first one to go down in that whole exchange. There goes XBS, though, as well. That was Daffodil. The bombs from Gewpcci gang have just been devastating. Big does get cleaned up as this fight continues, but there goes Alexandro, shiny in, but is going to have to deal with Reflecto and Abyssal, and that's a little too much.
Soldiers on both of these teams have been going so huge here in this match. It's just like jump after jump, everything's flashy, everything's just hitting exactly what they need to be, so that's going to throw the second point back in favor of Gewpcci gang. And capping it off now. Huge Uber charge advantage. This should be their last point to take. They just need to go in and make it happen. And this time, eXtine, they need to actually stand on the point. There's going to be a heavy weapons guy and a sniper trying to defend, as Brule is going to get up to 100%.
Yeah, definitely time on the point is what it's all about. We have a nice arrangement of stickies once again from Hedgehog Hero. We'll see if Hedgehog can just tuck away and spawn like they did last time. Shiny up top here, gets hit by a couple of stickies, so pretty banged up, but still gonna be able to spit bullets. And wow, yep, see, what a difference that makes.
Finally,
Right.
I think eXtine knew exactly what went wrong in that last push.
Yeah.
And he made it a point like, all right, I'm not gonna kill people, I just need to stand on this point for my team. Did it very well, and the sticky spread as well from Hedgehog Hero wasn't quite as excellent as it was that first round, so it was a little bit easier in their credit, but you know, standing on the point, all credit to them. Very well done.
Yeah, I didn't quite see if Abyssal just like shot a sticky off or just found the corner. Definitely playing the objective, gets returns. Abyssal right now fending off Nazara, but Nazara actually did get a very nice arrow heal in there, so our Shiny Mare fans are pretty well healed up. But again, here comes the devastating bombs. XBS does survive it this time. Reflecto, a sliver of health, gets the trade with Shiny at the end there. Brule has gone down, but it's Alexandros solo on the point, has gone down. Cinnamon's going to capture. Abyssal's going to chase, but XBS left a while ago.
He's already back. Respawn's coming in 2 seconds. Ebyssal deciding just to hide here. I'm not sure what he's going to accomplish. Maybe if they push out to second, but they're all going rollout. Oh, actually, this could be good. He's going to be coming in through Shutter right behind them. Nobody's looking, but there. Oh, Hedgehog Hero's ready for it. Takes him down with a quick pipe sticky combo.
Yeah, did get spotted by Alexandros as Alexandros came out of spawn, so was a good attempt, but didn't quite happen. And XBS now has the overcharge as Brule died in that mid-fight. They're going to come out of sewer here, aggressive. Great timing with the flash on Nazara. Brule at 50%. Might get kind of stuck here. Isn't all that far away. But as I say, that has managed to slip out choke. They have picked up another kill against Daffodil as Alexandros controls that sewer health back. And it looks like it might be 2 points getting flipped over. Cinnamon does get a trade with Alexandros, but it's just 3 players up for Gewpcci gang. And they're going to retreat to last with this overcharge.
I like what I'm seeing from Shiny Mareepfan, all right? They're finally in a position where they could get around on the board. The issue, of course, is the Uber charge advantage. 60% odd in favor of Brule. Just going to be getting their teammates up pretty quickly here, and they will likely look to contest the second point. You can see they're already moving up into lobby. Alexandros has gone spy, and this could be a very dangerous back cap potential if this push takes just a little bit too long. They've come out, and the force comes out from Nazara very early on a Brule. That's what they want. They get the frag on him regardless. They need to cap this point before Alexandros can get the back cap. They don't know he's back there. He's going to be standing on it now. They're going to stack that point. The Hedgehog Hero with the block. He's going to be able to stop it, and finally it's a round on the board in favor of a Shiny Mareepfan.
Very well executed for them. Just exciting to see. We had the viewpoint of the spy there, but Hedgehog Hero, huge bomb through choke. Huge bomb, and just perfectly timed. They put the ×4 on there, and they probably like, okay, we got this. And they did not. So very well played by Shiny. Let's see, they got plenty of time here to pick up 2 more rounds. This is going to be a crucial mid-fight for them. If it goes their way, momentum will definitely be helping them out as they try to push forward here. They got to keep XBS safe. They've rotated all the way far right, but big bombs coming in. But Reflecto and Daffodil, it's kind of a whiff so far, but it's the scout Abyssal getting the cleanup. Fig actually with the kill, but Daffodil now getting thrown up in the air. Pretty banged up, 35 health. The scout Jets running out of ammo though. Alexandros is the on getting the kill there. Brule has backed up, but XPS has gone down. So it might be a repush in 5 seconds. They're gonna get 2 players back here. Hedgehog Hero looking to maybe rotate through sewers here, pick up somebody with a trap. Bisco's gonna chase out though. And Hedgehog, I don't think is gonna be able to, yeah. It's unfortunate, but we do actually have a cap on second.
Yeah, I mean, the whole team went the wrong way. I mean, they got stuck, ring around the Rosie mid, thrown up the enemy second. Now there's a couple scouts here trying to fight Daffodil. This should favor the scouts, but some nice rockets, and Shiny had to back off because he was a little bit too low. And with all these players in the back lines getting taken down, some nice pipes coming up from Fig. Does get the frag on a Shiny after he did find the frag on Daffodil earlier on. So once again, players are back on the correct side of the map. Epsicle, the only player actually here on mid, but he's going to meet 4 of them of the enemy team's color. Alexandros makes sure that he does not get out alive. Fig wanted to help his scout player up there, but wasn't going to happen. That makes it a 5-on-6. And a big bomb in by Alexandros into the second point. He's just going to get on that cap. Now throwing some rockets down to Fig, but not really getting anything other than XBS. He died to a sticky trap. Was that from Fig?
Yeah, must have been. I didn't quite see where XBS was positioned. Looks like the continuing pressure will get the Spire. They have picked up some big frags, including on Brule. Daffodil bombing in, can't be the hero once again. Abyssal still alive, but the scout on the point should be able to finish the capture. It's going to be 3 seconds till there's a respawn. It's going to be Cinnamon coming up with Brule. Our soldier Nazara, 1 health, literally on the point, gets scratched down, but he held with the capture, and it is now 3-2. Shiny Marefan have pulled back another round.
Oh boy. We're getting close. We're getting to a close game. I was worried this was going to be a 5-0 roll eXtine, but I have been proven wrong. The scoreboard reads 3-2. Goofy Gang, I mean, they're just kind of slipping in these later rounds. A lot of mistakes happening, and coming to this next mid Fig is a whole lot faster than Hedgehog.
Extremely fast. Didn't get much out of the stickies, but did hit a fat pipe on Alexandros, who's banged up. Nazara now getting some shots as well. Hedgehog Hero gets totally bombed down. Well, Alexandros was getting arrowed by the medic. XPS might try to get another one. Alexandros, that'll help with the rebomb here as Abyssal just takes a rocket to the face. Nazara pushing forward, takes the health pack as Alexandros with a big bomb over the top. That's going to shove everybody back. Cinnamon, Fig, Brule running for the hills. Nazara is in there. Also, Jets here. Big bomb from Alexandros as well. They're pushing forward hard. They've gotten Brule. They want to tie this up, Cornpops.
What a great mid coming out from Shiny Mareepfan. You can tell in previous mids, the soldiers on the enemy team, Goofy Gang, have done a whole lot of work early. This time they were able to play passively, shut down the soldiers, and then get aggressive. Continue that all the way in the second. Make sure every single player on the enemy team is dying during the mid fight. Now they're getting ready to push in the last point. 100% Uber. XPS never had to pop off. Here they come running forward. Solo Uber with Shiny. They're going to focus down the heavy. Hedgehog Hero does jump into this Uber charge as well, get a little piece of that. Now the players are coming out of spawn. Alexandros pretty weak here, trying to dodge around, get up in a secret. You can be able to do that, but XBS gets taken down over in the back lines. A lot of blue players over around point, but suddenly they're all dying. There's only 2 of them. It's a 2-on-2, still fighting on this last point. Shiny trying to get Daffodil, but a nice rocket. Hedgehog Hero is there, though, and he's the sole survivor. Gonna cap this point off. Nah, he doesn't have time.
Wow. Alexandros, again, just fantastic jump arounds. Distracting players and just escaping and then attacking from alternate angles. And yeah, definitely that Uber charge just being used super aggressively. They were able to just get a free kill on that heavy weapons guy. Was really a great start to that fight. And now it's 3-3, and Gewpcci Gang are gonna have to calm this game down, slow down the momentum of the Shiny Marefan. And Fig not as great of a rollout here, but will fight with his team with good help. Alexandros jumping across as a distraction, and Nazara jumps up. Reflecto dodging a shot and then launching Alexandros, who's pretty banged up. They're stuck in the corner. Fig with a very nice pipe. Does get the kill on the jumping Nazara. There goes Jets as well, finished off by Abyssal. So the scouts pushing forward, and they have been able to push Shiny Marefan, but it's actually Alexandros coming in, getting the kill on Relay.
Good lord, the roamers in this game eXtine have been putting in so much work. Despite losing that mid, XPS has just got 100%, and Brule still got 11 seconds on that respawn timer. So this should be an easy second point recap, assuming they even let the enemy team get it. Nazara is going to initiate this and stop the point from being capped in his tracks. Gets the trade 1-for-1, so not bad at all. Shiny's out here with XPS. You can tell they kind of wanted to use that Uber charge, but there weren't enough players there, so they chose not to, and that's going to allow them to save it for this middle point. Now watch out for Reflecto, because he is hiding in IT. That's got to be a worrying for them.
He'd let Jets just walk past completely, but he's actually been so slow that he's completely missing the fight and getting destroyed by Alexandros. So that little game of hide and go seek did not work out for Reflecto. Reflected back on him. Another trap here on the side here of Choke. We'll see if that's able to catch anybody here. Yep, does get Shiny. Also, Alexandros going down. So this is a 4v5, but Reflecto respawning, and now a 6v3. XBS also at an uber disadvantage, so they're going to concede middle, and honestly, I think they're going to lose second, maybe not immediately.
Daffodil's a nice consolation prize. I'm not sure it's going to matter a whole lot there, but regardless, it's one less player who's going to be looking in. Makes it a 5-on-5, which is pretty significant. About even uber charges. Fig maybe getting a little bit too aggressive, but they're so passive over on the side of Shiny Mareepfan that I'm not sure it's going to matter too much. Here comes the pop, and they're going to be able to get that force out. Nazara manages to pop off Brule, and now it's 100% XBS. Sitting on this last point, so they had to get back there. Nazara actually never died either. He's over in sewers rather, so he's gonna be able to cause some mayhem as his enemy, the rest of his team is gonna be coming to the second point, forcing players right back into him.
Yeah, and this is the classic, like, you know, players arguing about whether to ignore him or not. In the meantime, the Ubercharge has just been popped in their face. Fig taking some really good damage. Okay, good arrow from Brule, healing him back up. Reflecto on the IT side. I think the scout might have seen him, but maybe not, as he's looking to come in through the battlements here. Pressure coming in from Fig, also Abyssal on the ground. Abyssal fighting with Jets. Jets trying to get supported by Shiny. It is Alexandros who will go down. Fighting with Fig over by Choke. There goes Shiny, yeah, Reflecto finally getting a kill out of that lateral pressure he was bringing. He's capturing Spire here.
This is a bit dangerous because there's only 4 players alive, but the bigger issue is the Ubercharge. Brule has just reached up to 100%. Here they come, popping it off. Epsicle's clearing those stickies, gonna be able to get that point time. Not gonna make that mistake twice, but will stand on those stickies, and they do debt, so they need to get somebody else on that now. Up top, Reflecto trying to pester this heavy, get him down if he can. We can see Brule and the combo have stayed alive, and now they're able to come right back in on this, making it a 4v3. They are on match point eXtine.
Yeah, again, Abyssal, very nice, you know, transitioning that strategy a little bit to be like, oh yeah, capture the point. You know, so they just charge on it and shoot some of those stickies off, and that just really focuses, makes the defensive team focus on the point. And the heavy drop down, all these other players dropping down, and they were able to just kind of, again, reflect that focus back towards the defending team and clear them out. Right now, big bomb in from Cinnamon, but that went pretty quickly. Daffodil has switched over to Scout here. Interesting.
It's a 5-on-5 as Big was able to take down Nazara. We're having another one of these bring around the rosy mid for player.
Yeah.
Teams are on the wrong side, and there's not great health over on the side of Shiny Mareepfan. Reflecto coming out of his own IT, gonna be able to span down on some players, but even too much damage, and Hedgehog Hero cleans him up. That's one more player, but XPS is taking a little bit too much. Big takes him down. Cinnamon from the flank, gonna be able to find Hedgehog Hero, but missed a couple of times. That's gonna allow Shiny to get the refrag onto him. Shiny's just pushing aggressively, but he's really got nobody with him other than Jets kind of coming in from the enemy side. Still not hitting the shots he needs to, but it's enough damage for Nazara to clean up onto Brule. That's going to be what they want. Epsicle trying to chase him down. Just needs to hit one shot onto the soldier. He's so low. Epsicle, please. Daffodil has to be the one to find that shot. And in the end, it is going to be the mid going in favor of Gewpcci Gang, but it's going to be Ubercharge advantage in favor of XPS.
Yeah, unfortunate to lose Brule there, but they'll still be comfortable with it. Jets coming out here, getting some pressure, pushing Fig back, who's pretty low, and does able to finish off the kill on Fig with some help from his teammates. So Shiny Mareepfan are going to be able to hold second confidently here. 4:20 on the clock here, so we'll have to get this rolling in not too long, but plenty of time at the moment here. And due to kill on Reflecto, yeah, took a little bit too much damage.
Not what he wanted in sewers. Now they're going to be down a player, and Ubercharge is disadvantage for them, so they have to get out here as fast as they can. The other 5 players on the team will live, so that's something.
Look at this aggressiveness, yeah.
Yeah, coming in through this IT XPS with the combo, you can tell they're even going to have to give up the second point. Here comes the Ubercharge. It's only 85% from Brule, so this could actually be very dangerous. They get the frag on a Fig. Shiny chases him in through rollout. Daffodil's on the back lines. They're already forcing them into spawn, but they haven't managed to get the second point yet. I think they might be a little bit overextended. They've lost 3 now, trying to just escape with XBS and Shiny. They meet up with Jets, who won a 1v1 against Reflecto over on the second point. Cinnamon now with a big bomb being thrown up into the air. not going to be able to get that aggression. And they reclaim the second points, at least the aggression on it, but not able to get any of those juicy frags they were looking for.
Yeah, a very nice play from Shiny Mare, and now Brule is going to pop this Uber charge on Abyssal. XPS able to skate away for a little bit, now getting some surfs out. Still pretty low health, but it survived so far. Oh my, 12 health is what I saw. They get the kill on Reflecto as well. Jet's behind midpoint. And Brule is the only one capturing mid, so they're not going to be able to capture past that. Daffodil's trying to deal with this back on the Spire, but isn't going to be able to. Daffodil going to go down. Jets could run back towards last. Okay, couple players coming up shortly, though. So it should be a defense on last here. Jets is standing on it, though.
2x, he needs to get it, and he will! Barely making this a 4v4 game with 2 minutes 39 seconds on the clock. eXtine doesn't get a whole lot closer than this. Completely scattered on the defensive side, and that's going to allow 5hinymareepfan making it 4-4. This next mid fight is going to make all the difference.
Yeah, and Fig does not hit the skip jump. Hedgehog Hero also kind of on the slow side there. Hedgehog going to wait by a choke, but Alexandros bombing in towards Fig. And here's Nazara, kind of a skip, you know, lancing jump going off towards the side. Right now, the structure is pretty good for 5hinymareepfan. Alexandros big bomb across over to the other sewer. Fig's going to be in some trouble here. Jets picks up that bottle, fighting Fig, but Fig's surviving so far. And now Hedgehog Hero trying to get some spam over on IT side. Abyssal thrown way up, but Brule has gone down, but that's not too bad of a trade for the entire team. So 5hinymareepfan, yeah, completely wiped. They're gonna not have an Uber charge at all to hold last, but well, actually, you know, this capture's going pretty quickly. Some of their players might still be coming out of spawn.
Yeah, they should be able to get. They should be able to get the second point. Enough people were able to rush that, and they're going to be able to get it. So it is even Uber charges, as you mentioned, and the full defense off classes are coming out. Shiny's playing Engineer, Jets is up on Sniper. So that last midpoint was once again a story of the Roamers. I think Reflecto's been putting in so much work for his team. He's one of the most underrated players, and as I'm saying that, he's coming up to the second point on the heavy weapons guy. So things are about to get spicy here, eXtine.
I like this. Creative off-classing. Got to play to win, you know? And this is certainly an important round. They don't want to go to golden cap. You know, they already control mid. 50 seconds here. See where they want to go with this. Kritzkrieg. Brule and Fig coming out of the main door of lobby. And I think they were a little bit slow on popping it. They do have Abyssal here as a backup as Brule has gotten separated. Brule actually getting picked off by Alexandros on the side. Ubercharge is out. Still 30 seconds on the clock, and I have to just double make sure that Fig or Daffodil, nobody can get in here. Okay, Daffodil goes down, traded with Alexandros. Abyssal, the only one up, 20 seconds. Abyssal just gonna run in here. Nobody is in, okay, good. Stickies were there. And Abyssal cleared one off, but very well covered by Hedgehog Hero. And I think we're heading to golden cap.
Every single gimmick that they tried to pull out to push that last point was countered perfectly by a gimmick on the enemy team. They had the Kritzkrieg, but it was countered by the Sentry Gun. They brought in a heavy, but it was countered by the Sniper. So everything they tried, I like the effort, but I like the idea as well. But execution, not quite what they were hoping for. So yes, as you said, 4-4 gonna be going into the golden cap for the first map here in our best of 3. This is exactly what I was hoping for out of these two teams. eXtine, this is gonna be so close, and I don't know. Who do you expect for this golden cap? Because I'm honestly totally up in the air.
Yeah, I definitely think the momentum has been in the favor of 5hinymareepfan. You know, catching their breath a little bit. I think Brule, you know, should be able to kind of snap the team around a little bit. I don't know if I agree with the necessary switch between Cinnamon and Daffodil. I'm curious what the reasoning was behind that, a story behind that, because I felt like they were playing well with the other setup.
Yeah, I think I don't know between that. Certainly, when I think about the soldiers, it was definitely more Alexandros and Reflecto, more so than Nazara and Daffodil for the soldiers on both sides. So maybe you could say that the soldiers in that respect were lacking a little bit. Maybe that's why they want to swap up between Daffodil and Cinnamon. But regardless, I hope it works out for them. This is probably a match where they're expected to win, just based on the fact that they are mostly an invite team. versus a bunch of players who have little to no invite experience. I don't think, maybe a little bit there, but you know, regardless, this is something they should be winning, and the fact that it's a 4v4, it's not super surprising. Don't get me wrong, I expected this to be close, maybe like a 5-3, but the fact that it's golden cap certainly surprises me.
Yeah, I'm trying to just curious if Hedgehog Hero has perhaps played in invite or not.
In anybody, it's got to be Hedgehog Hero, right?
Yeah, I definitely think Hedgehog Hero is super capable, demo man. But I think maybe it's just been an intermediate in an open with Blank Megazord though. Hedgehog has played with them for quite a few seasons, and Blank Esports definitely on the way up the rough ladder that is TF2.
For sure, they're an upcoming force to be reckoned with. Another upcoming force to be reckoned with was Omni 5, which, as I've been mentioning, is most of the enemy team. So hopefully they're able to reform, but the fact that if they lose this match and then they lose, you know, one of the next two maps that are coming up in this best of 3, they will be sent home with 3rd/4th place in this tournament. And that's, as we kind of mentioned at the beginning here, eXtine, that's a big deal because that's the difference between $60 and potentially $600 for your team. There's a lot on the line, and I can tell these players they both want it so bad, but it's making it they're making it tough for their opponents.
Yeah, certainly, and I mean, it's just the prestige of this. You know, there's not too many tournaments in TF2 month to month. You know, we have some more leagues that are kind of going in and out, but I think this is a prestigious tournament, as well as the money being on the line here. You know, and if you can climb into the upper echelons of this tournament, that's definitely says something about your team and your capabilities. And with just the seasonal lands that we're having around the globe with Team Fortress as well, you know, people do take these results seriously. You know, maybe your team's not in invite, but if you've, you know, put up results in these tournaments and you've attended other, you know, lands as a team, that definitely says a lot about your commitment to the game and your desire to get better.
People watch these tournaments, right? I mean, if you're an invite team and you're looking for a player, and I know there's a couple invite teams out there still looking for a player, you might be watching these tournaments and you might say, oh, well, you know, Reflect is playing really well. Maybe we want to pick him up for our team. You know, maybe Hedgehog Hero has been playing really well. Let's put him on our 3rd place invite team. Who knows? Who knows, eXtine? There's so much potential for playing in these tournaments.
And it looks like we have gotten an update. Froyotech has won their way through up against Midnight Society and will be in the grand finals up against our winner of this best of 3 series. So we still have to see the golden cap conclusion of this map, but then we will have Goalie Wash followed by Snake Water if needed. And looks like our countdown has started. We'll be going on this golden cap here. 5hinymareepfan versus Gewpcci gang. One more round to rule them all.
All coming down to this. That first round was a 4-4, so right down to the wire, as close as it gets. This time, Hedgehog Hero going to be beating Fig a little bit faster than mid, but has to wait for an arrow. So they're going to lose that positioning advantage right off the bat. We'll see how this, the rest of it folds out, though. Still trying to get aggressive. They're sort of doing this ring around the rosy thing, but Reflecto going to get aggressive first, gets Jets, as well as XBS getting taken down. This is really bad if you're the red team. Shiny's very low, eats a big pipe from Fig. They're kind of disconnected. They don't really have a way out, as I said. This ring around the rosy stuff. Hedgehog Hero so low. Alexandros, last player alive with 10 HP, being chased down by Ebsicle, gets a second frag in the mid, and it is all going in favor of Gewpcci gang.
Yeah, both teams were basically going for the same strategy of heading for the other team's far health pack. But Gewpcci gang were like on the health pack, while 5hinymareepfan were like barely past the rock. It was just such a difference of where each team was. And, you know, from that position, there wasn't necessarily any even fighting, but just like how that mid fight evolved. It's like, okay, they're just so far ahead of you that then they just took the containers, the top of the containers, no problem. XBS got completely pincered. They just got destroyed. Relay has a full Uber charge here, and they're looking to move in. Actually, Fig just moves in. Already down, but they're still going to use the Uber charge. Abyssal coming in here, putting some damage on Nazara, but Nazara bumping around. This Uber charge has fizzled out here. Cinnamon very banged up, goes down. It is a wash, Cornpops.
At least they had the foresight to back out of there before it was a complete wipe for them. I mean, Reflecto's still getting in here. I'm not sure what that was looking for. But regardless, most of their team has been able to make it out. Specifically, Brule is out through that choke onto the middle point. So that's what they need. They've given up the second point, and it is Ubercharge advantage in favor of XBS. So they could take this coast to coast, and it looks like they will. As long as they're fast enough, they can probably push this all the way back to enemy team's last. It looks like either Gewpcci game is going to give this up, or they're going to get popped on, and popped on is the result. Brule throwing up in the air, and Nazara hits the air shot that he was looking for. Beautifully executed. That's going in a frag video for sure. Now it's going to be, once again, Ubercharge advantage in favor of XBS. They're still sort of fighting here on the middle point, but it's all kind of slipping away for Gewpcci gang. They've lost a couple of players, and they have to go all the way back to last. So the Ubercharge advantage is still going to be in effect.
Yeah, and I'm sure that was one of those circumstances where Fig is kind of frustrated because it was like, well, you know, where wasn't the Ubercharge? You know, how come you guys weren't with me? You know, and it's kind of this back and forth because obviously the rest of the team's going to be like, well, you know, we weren't there with you. Like, why are we giving that up? A whole Ubercharge just fizzled after that. They should have just waited for him to come back, maybe conceded the advantage, but then they just wouldn't have, you know, gone what it is now, or XBS is about to have another Ubercharge, 30% advantage. If they use this swiftly, they could catch Brule again, and that would be the round and the map. Shiny coming in here, they're pressuring forward. Brule by the shutter, kind of close. Nazara getting back. Looks like Brule should be able to get far back. Good flash on Alexandro, so keeping everybody up. Cinnamon has gone down. Nazara looking for a little bit more, but just the one-man advantage.
Okay, that back off was a little bit better for the Gewpcci gang. They only lost one player, and they managed to force the Ubercharge off out. So they're going to have an opportunity to push right back out onto the second point. 35% only from XBS, so that's not something you can defend from. Reflecto, however, does get caught, and that's going to put a wrench into their plans. If they push, it's going to be a 5v6, and that's sort of opening things up to back caps. Now, we just process, so we don't see a ton of back caps without a spy or anything, but that's going to slow them down and make them hesitate, and they're actually choosing not to push out because of that.
Yeah, we have the fast build on XBS. They've gotten up to 80%, so they could get it in this fight, but they are going to have to be careful. Brule using it and putting pressure on as Nazara and Alexandros go for the cap. Jet's also threatening some caps here, but it looks like XBS will just back up with Hedgehog Hero and Shiny, and they'll just have to play respawns here. So that didn't quite go as well as XBS and company would have liked, but still, you know, they're alive, they're in this, they're getting some players coming back here. They might fight with this Ubercharge because it's going to be able to last long enough here. Hedgehog Hero a little bit disconnected. Oh no, it gets dropped as XBS couldn't reconnect. Shiny does get Cinnamon. That's not really enough though. Daffodil also looking like going to get stuck in. But again, that opens up a pretty good chance for Brule to develop a strong Ubercharge advantage. Alexander's looking for the bomb, gets completely stuffed by Abyssal, who's pretty banged up, but we'll just get an arrow here, be A-okay.
Wow, that really should have gone better for the 5hinymareepfan, but they didn't use the Ubercharge exactly how they should have, and now they're in a difficult position. But Nazara's right on top of Brule, so nothing matters at all. Reflecto also dies to Hedgehog Hero. Jess is up on Sniper, and he's looking for that frag on the Cinnamon. He stays in a little bit too long. Fig gets that one. XBS as well dies. This is so many players now going down for the enemy team. I thought they were going to lose that for sure after they lost Brule, but they completely turned it around, and once again, Gewpcci gang are in the driver's seat. Hedgehog Hero puts one in for his team, though. Cinnamon gets completely denied.
Yeah, and looks like Red going to have to cycle spawns here. Nazara is still kind of playing with the shutter, but yeah, after taking a little bit of damage, doesn't have a choice anymore. We have Shiny on the sentry gun again. Just a level 1 here. We'll get it to level 2. And maybe even level 3 before a push comes in, looks like it.
So now it's 60% on the side of Brule, 30 from XBS. So this is going to be about 70 to 30 now, about 40% add in favor of Brule and her team. So this is going to be a very pushable opportunity. You can still, all the defense, as you mentioned, already Shiny on that Engineer, Jets as well. Playing Sniper, going to be trying to force off the Ubercharge early or maybe get a pick if at all possible. Fig is actually right there, so that's a potential one, but he's looking more at Reflecto right now. They're all in lobby. They're getting ready to potentially end the game, popping in this last point, trying to focus down that sentry gun, getting it down very early. Once again, they got to focus this point. This is something he's having trouble with. Big bomb in by Alexandros, but everybody's kind of still Ubercharged. He gets some damage, but does it in the end. Have to fall back up in the secret. Very low HP. Reflector's coming down, trying to take down Shiny. Really nice rocket by him. Finds Alexandros as well, but Hedgehog Hero's coming out, and he's hitting too many pipes. 4 kill streak for him, and he's done excellent. along with Jets, who was the only other survivor on that hold. And just barely, it looks like the Gewpcci gang are going to survive. Or, sorry, the Shiny Mariepe fan are going to survive.
Yeah, that was a pretty nutty hold from him. Better, cleaner push. Just, you know, had to, and we're trying to focus so many players on the points. Couldn't get any frags. Cinnamon, good bomb in here. Gets a lot of damage on the Nazar. Isn't able to get the kill, but XPS has gone down. There goes Hedgehog and Nazar and Shiny.
Fig just got all 4 frags in that eXtine. That was actually incredible.
Man.
Finally, somebody else is going to get a frag, and it leaves just Jets alive. We were just talking about how good that hold was, but none of it matters. The first map going in favor of Gewpcci gang.
Yeah, that was a brutal finish by Fig there at the ends. Picking up another kill right at the end there on Jets, and pretty much saving that. That was a back and forth golden cap round. A little bit longer than I expected, especially just coming out of the gates. But Brule and Gewpcci gang couldn't get that first push together. Then we're able to kind of buckle down and get the frags that they needed to make that happen. Big plays from them.
So now that was our first map process. We will be looking at Gully Wash next eXtine, and that first one was very, very close. I don't know who picked what map. But regardless, if that was Shiny Mariepe fan's pick, that's very worrying. If that was Gewpcci gang's pick, that's also worrying because that means we could see another very close match on the second point, or on the second map, rather, which would be exciting for us, but less good for the team that just won. And yeah, no, this is looking to be a good game so far.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for it. I think that Gully Wash could go either way. I think that you know, Shiny Mareepfan fan could just get super fired up from that, and you know, this is our map. We can do this. We can take the series back. Or Gewpcci gang could be like, wow, that was a close one. Let's start playing for reals, you know, and just kind of turn it on a little bit more. But I think we're going to step away for a little bit, just take a light break while these teams get ready to go with their second game. But we should be underway shortly, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned.
Walking on ice, paper thin, skating on the surface of what might have been. Do you wanna be set free? Voices in the sound of the cracks all singing to me. Do you wanna be set free?
Yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Essentials.TF NA Monthly Cup for May. And we're about to get into the second map of our semifinals. Shiny eXtine versus Gewpcci gang. I'm your host, eXtine, joined by Cornpop. How you doing, Jesse?
I'm doing really good. That first match was so close. Golden Cap 5-4 scoreline. It doesn't get a whole lot closer than that. Now we're on Gully Wash, which is one of my favorite maps in the game. I'm expecting just a close match.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited. Definitely had a lot of fun with that last one. Really looked like Shiny Mareep fans were pulling it around, around in the corner, getting their momentum going, and figuring out what they needed to do to upset the rhythm of the Gewpcci gang. But in the end, Gewpcci gang did pull it out. They were looking really strong. And we'll see if some of the, plays that we're swinging things like Hedgehog Hero and Alexandros with his roaming, we'll see how Goalie Wash affects them, whether they'll be able to frag just as hard or even harder.
Yeah, I mean, that's the question, isn't it, next time? We're coming out, and again, I'm not sure who picked which map, but regardless, that first map, barely going in favor of Gewpcci gang. This one, if it was Gewpcci gang's pick, then it's got to be very worrying on the side of Shiny Mareep fan, right? Because you just lost on your own map pick. You would think, I mean, logically, the map you pick, you should be better on. So if this map pick is Gewpcci gang's, we might see a little bit less close of a match. This might be more of like a 5-3, maybe 5-4 non-golden cap would be what I would expect. On the other side, if this is a Shiny Mareep fan map pick, then we could be going to another 4-4 golden cap, and this time the winner could be the other side. Could be Shiny Mareep fan coming out on top.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to see some snake water, but we'll see if we make it there. Definitely Gewpcci gang just trying to wrap this up. They've looks like they are sticking with Cinnamon on Soldier, Daffodil on Scout now. I think that this should be a strong game for him. Abyssal and Daffodil just been really dangerous, of course, in combination with Reflecto on the flank. And Goalie Wash certainly kind of notorious for that as well. People opening up the other team either through drop down or plays through big door, that sort of thing.
And I'm getting word that it was Gewpcci gang who picked Process and Shiny Mareep fan who picked Gully Wash. So that's exactly what I wanted to hear. That means that we're likely to see this match maybe go the other way. If that one was was very, very close, and this one, if it's going to favor Shiny Mareep, but just a little bit more, this one maybe goes to them, and then we're looking to play Snake Water to determine the winner of this best of three, who will then go on to face Froyotech in the grand finals of the Essentials monthly tournament. So, now I'm even more excited, eXtine. This is going to be a good game.
Yeah, it definitely should be. Definitely a lot of hard frags, some good air shots, good mid fights. Both teams just playing really smart. Solid fundamental TF2. We haven't really seen too many, major slip ups or obvious miscues, and some pretty fun players from the roamers for sure as well.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned air shots. We saw so many in that last game compared to what we usually see in competitive TF2 matches. I'm hoping we see the same in this one. The roamers have been putting in excellent work on both teams. Reflecto especially has probably been my player of the game for the Gewpcci gang at least. He's been hitting a whole lot of shots. Last season he was the team leader for Hooligans for Hire, and next season I believe he's playing in intermediate with Every Villain is Lemons. So upcoming player for sure. He played one season of Invite. I expect to see him there one day in the future. Who are your players of the game or players of the teams that you saw stand out?
Abyssal, I definitely felt like he was bringing some danger on the Scout. I think Fig might have swung more just like clutch situations. Just kind of coming through with the big frags, either getting trap kill on XBS. That was a very nice one through that choke entry, or just some sick pipes as well. And then similarly, I mean, I thought that Hedgehog Hero really did a great job, and again had some clutch plays like that bomb in to stop the capture and enable the back cap on last by the spy. That was a huge play. And Alexandro is probably my second place as far as in that map, having a big impact. There were some of those fights who just finding the angle as roamer, attacking from ways that are distraction or just good jumps across, and then circling back to the fight later. He was another big part of the swing towards Shiny Mareepfan. And we are getting the countdown. Oh, never mind.
That is the bait countdown, as we like to call it, I guess. So not going to be the game going forward. But, I mean, that is something, just going back on what you mentioned, that we didn't really talk about was the demo man have been really showing up for both of these teams. It feels like any time Hedgehog Hero is in a match, you have to mention his name.
Yeah.
But Fig, on the other hand, is a little more surprising. We're going live to the map 2 in Gewpcci gang.
Yeah, excited to see how this works out. Cinnamon right now going pretty far forward on the lower section. Now Reflecto also getting up there, getting a kill on Hedgehog Hero and XBS. Cinnamon now coming up the drop down, combining, oh my god, Shiny Nazaris, Alexandros, Jets. They are all dead.
This is why Reflecto was my player of the game last map. Starts that mid off, taking down XBS and Hedgehog Hero immediately, and then his team follows that up absolutely perfectly. They're going to be able to clean that mid up in a very dominating fashion. They're going to get the second with absolutely zero contention. Now they're looking at the last point. It's been not even a minute into this round, and they're already looking to get the first point on the board. They're gonna lose, they're gonna lose Ebsicle, which is not great for their pushing here, especially because they want to go as soon as possible. But they're already looking to get in through this Riverside, pop Nuke Charge off. There's level 2 done. They got to worry about, and Big goes down to his sniper so early. Daffodil dies as well. I think Brule a little bit overextended as Alexandros just waddling forward. Is gonna be able to take her down. And that is going to be a disaster of a push in the last. That's the thing with Gillywash eXtine. It can be really tough getting in that last point.
Yeah, for sure. And as you mentioned, they sort of rushed it. They had just lost Abyssal, and they were trying to push that Uber charge advantage. But honestly, they had such a large advantage how they could have waited for Abyssal to respawn. You know, look for a pick, look for something. At least give them 5-10 seconds. There wasn't any sort of immediate emergency. No players down on the other team. XBS and Nazara making a cheeky play here. They've dropped down, and some of these players were spotted. Shiny does get dropped. That's unfortunate. Going to help hurt the effectiveness of this play, but Nazara still pushing forward. Reflecto has spotted XBS, has the stick out, but must have been out of ammo? I don't know why he would do that like that.
Yeah, it was a bit confusing. He didn't have low enough HP to be like running quickly or anything, but
yeah.
Big, a little bit too overextended. You can tell they wanted to poke in that middle point just a little bit, but they're going to pay by losing their demo man. Now, their one upside is Brule does have 80% supercharge, only 25 coming up from XBS. So they have that advantage, and she's just going to be getting up here. You can tell the aggression's not really there from Shiny Mareepfan. So that's going to allow the Gewpcci gang to get right back here on the second point after playing a little bit too passively. Turns into a 50% ad as they're getting ready to push through Big Door. Leading forward is a big bomb by Reflecto. They just kind of juggle up in the air. Ubercharge does get popped off. Alexandra and Reflecto end up trading. Jets is under that point in a little bit of trouble. He eats a couple of rockets, and Daffodil's the one to clean him up. So still only 2 players dying in that Ubercharge, leaving XBS with 90% Uber. That's not a bad trade at all if you're Shiny Mareepfan.
Yeah, Daffodil, I think maybe spotted by Shiny, but definitely lurking around. Will end up getting out through that lower ramp door by Big Door. And Nazara and XBS backing up a little bit. Actually going to go into lobby. Maybe they're scared of Daffodil. Okay, now they're pushing forward in through Big Door. Alexander and Alexandros and Nazara here. Nazara gets the overcharge. They're just going to push Brule and Fig and company out through choke. Really can't do much more than that. Brule now 90%.
Yeah, that was not a good push in. They waited way too long. They popped for nothing at the choke, and they just got juggled. Now it's 100%, and they're going through drop down with Brule, Ebsicle, and Reflecto. Jumping forward, gonna get some damage down on Nazara. He might be the first one to end up dying. Yes, he will. Someone gets that frag, and they're just chasing everybody out through choke. There's still some fighting back on the middle point, but XBS very low. Ebsicle just needs to hit one shot finally with the pistol. Takes down XB. Ebsicle does get cleaned up by Shiny. Alexandra with Brule all getting taken down. Shiny finding the frag on the medic was the big important one there. That's going to equalize the Uber charges. Fig getting a little aggro here. I'm not sure I agree with this. He wants a demo 1v1, but he's not accounting for the scout who's right by the side of Hedgehog Hero. That's an unfortunate trade for him. I'm not sure he should have pushed there.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it might, well, you know, it looks like it won't quite endanger second, but they probably, if they kept him up and kind of formed up as a team, could have bullied their way in a second a little bit easier there for sure. And looks like Nazara and XBS are just going to dry push this. They're running through. They do have Kritzkrieg. It's at 50% right now, but they're hoping to just bully their way through this fight and then use it on the follow-up fight. Nazara, pretty weak, is just going to get down on the low ground, asking for an arrow. Will get it. Bomb coming in from Reflecto. Gets the kill on Hedgehog Hero. Shiny's there to protect, but now XBS just fleeing completely back with Shiny. Hedgehog Hero is going to be up in 5 seconds. And by the time that if they do track them down and meet up with them, Brule is going to have Ubercharge here.
Oh, and Daffodil's on last. He gets the drop there on XBS.
Wow.
It was a Kritzkrieg, so there's no real point popping that anyways, but so unfortunate. Kritzkrieg going to waste. Shiny's been doing so much work for his team on the scout class, clean up that player, but regardless, that is the medic drop. Here comes the pop in for Brule and her team. Gewpcci again going to be getting in here. There is Jets on the Pyro, but he's not able to do a whole lot. Big takes him down with the stickies. Hedgehog Hero from below. In a 1v1 with the Reflecto. He's going to end up winning that, and the rest of his team walking out of spawn. Managing to do so much damage, shut down these players. It's only Ebsicle. I think he's hunting for XBS or something. He's going to get a Hedgehog Hero, which is not a bad trade at all for the position you're in, but not really enough. Daffodil now. Can he get the frag on XBS? No. That's a really rough attempt by the scout, but nothing else he could have really gone for there.
Yeah, that was a rough push. Brule and company, again, just can't get it done on last. I think that was a 4K by Alexandros there. Nazara fighting by choke as well. This soldier going to get popped up in the air, but is able to sneak away at very low health. Fig also very low health. And the capture going to go the way of 5hinymareepfan. And they might just try push through here as well, but they will have the Ubercharge in just 20%, so not too long.
Yeah, this is probably going to be their point to take. I mean, Ebsicle's up on that sniper class, right? He's watching Big Door right now. They can easily just move his mouse and look towards choke. They're all playing pretty passively, so they're ready for this Ubercharge, which just gets popped through choke without any regard to who's actually standing there. And I think that's a bit of a sloppy pop in by 5hinymareepfan. There was really nobody there to try to damage. Everybody who was there was easily able to escape. You could tell that they were totally ready for that. And now, with 97% from Brule, they're going to get right back in here.
Yeah, and they just kind of charge up to the deck. Alexandros does find a kill on Abyssal somehow. Jets gets splashed pretty heavily as well. Ooh, just barely escapes 11 health. Waiting for an arrow, and we will have some bombs out by Reflecto. Brule is still in choke. We've got some other players. Nazara bombing in here, but actually maybe a little bit ahead of where Brule was on that. Nice trap by Hedgehog. Getting Cinnamon off that jump around attempt.
Yeah, that's going to be a good trap to equalize the numbers. One soldier down on each team now. We're going to slow down the push just a little bit, and that's going to be enough to get XBS, that Ubercharge, up and running. So stalls the push enough to equalize things. Hedgehog Hero, Jets rather, is up on that heavy weapons class. It looks like they almost want to take it through this shutter because a lot of players, I don't agree with this, but they're going to pop in anyways. Even Ubercharges, they pop it off, get the force of the enemy team. Now they're going to back off, realizing that that's not a favorable situation. Daffodil down below, again, just sort of running back to his team, and no frags are exchanged in that Uber exchange.
Yeah, and 5hinymareepfan's just standing stronger right now with the heavy weapons guy. Fig having to pop his stickies as well, so they know there's nothing too crazy out there. Hedgehog Hero is going to set a trap, but might have even been heard and be called out by Fig.
Now, it should be even Ubercharges, but there's actually a slight advantage in favor of Brule, just because they popped that a little bit earlier, and I think they've been building a little bit better as well. But with Jets going down, there's a bit of an opportunity to push off that. If they really want to go, they've been building. It's already 90% from XBS, though, so they're mostly just pushing off this player advantage. They're all stacked up in River, ready to go, popping on Ebsicle. It is a solo Uber, but Reflecto's in there as well, getting ready. Alexandros goes down to get 2 players, but Jets coming up on that respawn as the heavy weapons guy. A little bit of point time, managed to shut that down before any real damage is done, though, and now there's a heavy standing on it. That's very dangerous. Ebsicle cleaned up by Nazara in water down there, so Reflecto and Brule, again, the only 2 players left alive. And again, not a successful push into last. I don't like these really even trades that they're bringing into the last point.
Yeah, high defense value on this 5hinymareepfans. They've just been able to stand super strong, making sure that there's just not enough capture time going in, throwing stickies, throwing bodies, and protecting against River as well. So very well played from him, and XBS is just going to squeeze out a very slight advantage, mainly just important making sure that they're not slipping behind. and we'll see if they make an aggressive move here or just wait for Brule and company to get kind of frustrated, which they might start being as these 10 minutes have gone by on this map.
Yeah, 10 minutes gone by and a 0-0 scoreline. So this is proving to be just as back and forth as the last one was. We are going to probably see things stalemate, but over in Big Door, it looks like Cinnamon gets 2v1. Alexandros and Jets closing on him as he was trying to sneak in behind. We'll see if he off-classes or if he, you know, changes or holds the spawn door open. Alexandros going to come in for the counter bomb through Big Door once again. Finds 2 rocks on a Brule, 7 HP, and she's taken out with a pistol of Jets. Looking in through the Big Door and gets that long-range pistol drop. Not something you see every day. And that's going to allow them to get right in on this middle point. There's not going to be hardly any defense on the side of Gewpcci.
And Abyssal sort of looking for a back cap, but Jets and Hedgehog Hero kind of keeping an eye on that. Definitely have to be mindful of just getting forward and helping their team, though. Alexandros has respawned back here. Hedgehog Hero and Jets also doubling back just to really make sure that they get that clean up. Nazara has gone down in the meantime, so he stayed in and maybe kind of over-engaged. Still a numbers advantage, though, for Shiny Mareep fans. XPS playing pretty far up with Jets. Wants to go in with this. They don't need to use it, though, actually. Fig has gone down, though. Jets just scratching him down. They are going to use it here. Brule is very far back. Continue to charge forward. If they can get some frags here, would be nice. Jets are running out of ammo. Has to reload some. Still pretty healthy after all of that. Finally getting shotty down. It's the scattergun of Daffodil. Also, the other scout Shiny in some serious trouble. The stickies from Hedgehog Hero going to be very helpful, though.
Jets, I don't care how good you think you are, you're never going to be able to use a Scout Hoover to push through 4 players and then get the medic. A little bit ridiculous, and a poor pop on the side of the Shiny Mareep fan. So now Brule is going to have that advantage. It's about 40-50%. So that's going to be very nice for them. Alexandros was waiting for the back cap. He's been spotted out by Daffodil. Wins the 1v1, but again, they're going to know he's back. He's on still a little HP. Edsel should be able to clean that up. Yes, he will. Takes down the soldier in the back line. So 100% from Brule. This should be an easy take on to the second point, but with them taking so long, specifically taking down Alexandros in the back lines, this could actually be a fight on the second point. It's 95 from XPS already.
Oh, Reflecto. Called out by those stickies. We've seen that trap similar to that already. Abyssal also getting shoved out. Uber charges on both. Medics just being sat on. Nothing to do with them right now.
So that makes it once again even Uber charges. Yeah, they could pop in here, but again, all you have is the Reflecto advantage with him being down. So I don't really think they should. Cinnamon getting kind of aggressive. You saw some stuff that he liked, but smartly not going to commit to that and just die. So or is he? You kind of wants to. We're letting him, but finally he bounced off. It looks like the play on the defense, though, is that Reflecto spy.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get anything done. We've seen some interesting spy play already today. Reflecto seemingly has gotten pretty far back, but just doesn't have a very good angle. These circumstances, XPS taking a rocket. He does come out here, yeah, spotted out by Jets. Sort of unfortunate timing here.
Oh, and Reflecto also gets caught out by Jets. So.
Thankfully for them, Alexandros going down at the same time, so probably no push coming out of that as a result.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that makes it a 5v5, not really able to push off that at all, so good timing, absolutely, by the spy. If you're going to die and get nothing, that is the time to die and get nothing. Now it's time for Alexandros to play spy as he's rolling out. Reflecto's on spy, but I think he might just be checking that. So they're going to know that Alexandros is on spy, and that puts him at a huge disadvantage. He's going to be trying to go for this med pick. So
last map, we had quite a few rounds. This map, almost halfway through it, and still 0-0. Cinnamon in lower lobby can probably hear the verbal cues that are going on, but decides he doesn't want to do any sort of trade there and backs up.
Okay, definitely they should know Alexandros is on spy, because there's no way that Reflector didn't check. Yeah, okay, Daffodil spams around, and we'll find that spy play as it was called out. Cinnamon dying at the exact same time to Hedgehog Hero. Once again, that was just kind of the counter stack, making it a 5-on-5. Nobody really able to push. You may as well jump in there, because even if you die, enemy team's not going to be able to get in onto your last point. So no real loss for Cinnamon dying there. Reflecto, however, jumping in, not getting anything for it. That could be an issue here, eXtine.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how that goes. Might be a good opportunity for Shiny Mareep fan to push. Definitely Gewpcci gang's defense being tested here. and their patience. Nazara's gone down. Gewpcci gang, see if they maybe want to push up this, but I think they're indecisive. Fig has gone into lower, so is Cinnamon. Cinnamon now backing up. All this jumping around is half health. Reflecto in lobby, so is Abyssal. Abyssal getting the kill on Alexandros. That might be the green light they were looking for. Yeah.
They have to watch out. Jets wants this back up so badly, but he was caught out. So there's been a very slow push out. This is so dangerous for the defending team. Cinnamon thrown up into River really low, but he got a lot of damage on XPS before he was finally taken down. This could be really good here if they were able to drop the medic. There it goes. Fig with a sticky charge is going to be able to grab that frag. Now it is all going in favor of the Gewpcci gang. They just need to stop any back half attempts, which they have. Clean up these last two players, get on the second point. Very well done.
Yeah, big drop there. And just the pressure becoming too much for XPS and company. So unfortunately for them, but they just kind of got backed up and had to concede that point after losing the medic as well. Alexandros does pop off Brûlé, so that's a nice, again, kind of a consolation. Cinnamon, trading for XPS, so that's a big concession from red team.
Yeah, absolutely. A soldier for a medic. I'll take that trade every single day of the week. Coming in now through the big door, they're able to get on the second point. Just in the forward spawn, is on that sniper class, going to make some shenanigans happen if at all possible. Shooting at Fig, he is going to get cleaned up by Shiny, so some work being done here. And Nazara also finding Reflecto is going to make this very, very good for them. Daffodil chased out through that choke point from Alexandros with a very, very high bomb. So that left 4 alive on this middle point on the side of Gewpcci gang. So they're going to be able to sit right back here, coming into this second point, though. They're not just ready to give this up yet. Nazara standing on this point. The sniper actually walked out of spawn. Jets found the frag on a Daffodil. So this middle point going firmly in favor of 5hinymareepfan.
Yeah, they're going to take that. Brûlé does want to push back in here. There's some stickies on the ground around the corner. Kind of scattered already, so not too serious as a trap. I do like the stickies that Blue has behind that traffic cone on the right corner. Reflecto looking for more traps. It looks like they are going to be able to get out here. Cinnamon bombing in very fast across, gets taken out. Fig also now suddenly isolated, doesn't really get punished. Reflecto also very lit up. Gonna hide in the bush, gets an arrow. Jets looking for a snipe, doesn't hit anybody. This Machina, though, doesn't help him stay hidden.
Oh, that line just putting the fear in the enemy team. Gewpcci gang not wanting to tempt that sniper, regardless of how many shots he's missing. So playing it smart there, playing it safe. It is even Uber charges. There's a lot of blue players over by Choke. It looks like they kind of just want to run this in. They've run one soldier in. Cinnamon cleaned up by Jets, who's sitting back over by Shutter. Yeah. After that frag goes down quickly, it's going to be Alexandros with the counter bomb. Reflecto actually dying as well. So that's 2 soldiers down on the side of Gewpcci gang, and Jets sort of being chased down by Daffodil. An excellent job to make this a 4-on-4. Still fighting the drop down, actually. Push has come out with Jets getting taken down, and this is going to be sort of a wraparound play. They've had to pop the Uber charge off. They get a frag on Epsico, Shiny on a 5-kill streak right now. Brûlé over the enemy team second, forced to pop her Uber charge off as well. Kind of caught in here with Fig and Daffodil. They need to fight their way out to stay alive. Daffodil cleaned up. They leave just Fig, but Cinnamon from behind gets 2 players with 1 rocket. That's exactly what he needed. There's only 1 player trying to bomb, and Alexandros finds Cinnamon. Not really what he wanted. Jets respawns and is already building a gun.
Yeah, those were big plays, big bombs, just good aggressiveness. Players backing each other up. Do you have a level 1 sentry gun here by Jets, just now getting up to level 2, starting to beep a little bit louder. Fig has gone down, so has Hedgehog Hero. So both demos kind of taken out. Jets not up anymore on the engineer to possibly repair his gun, but he did get a kill on Epsicle there.
Yeah, very well placed gun by him. I was worried. It was kind of just upgrading as the players were bleeding in that last point, but managed to get up to level 2 and get that final frag onto the over-aggressive scout. So worked out in the end, and no catastrophe happened, right? XBS still stayed alive, so overall they didn't lose the point. They didn't lose their medic. You can't put any blame on the team for that. They've done their jobs. So with a massive Uber advantage like this, about 40%, 50% even, they should be looking to get out onto the second point eXtine, but obviously a lot of dangers with that.
Yeah, definitely. And we have gone through 2/3 of this map here. Coming up on 10 minutes left on the clock. 0-0 still. XPS with the full Uber charge and a diminishing advantage on that. As
They're
that
throwing it
Brule
away.
Company, yeah, Brule and Company almost have their charge built up.
Yeah, surprisingly, not going to push it a last on a 50% ad. Maybe they didn't know how large it was. But still, that's definitely a missed opportunity for them.
Well, again, you mentioned it's their map that they picked, and maybe they just felt like their, off classes give them a strong opportunity here. There's their defense that they've already shown themselves capable of, and they didn't want to risk that. But I side with you. I like playing aggressive and believing that you can win. So I like calls like that, but they're definitely dangerous.
Daffodil coming up on spies. We passed that 2/3 mark with less than 10 minutes remaining in this match. Still 0-0 on that scoreboard. Now, I don't believe they're aware of Daffodil, but they turn around. Zara is going to be able to spot that, and Hedgehog Hero hits him with a pipe. So this is an opportunity once again to get aggressive. Nazara could push here into the lobby, which he has done. Did a little bit of damage, but too spread out on the players, and he's just going to get cleaned up. I like the sentry spot, by the way, from Jets. This is something new I haven't seen before.
Yeah, that's a pretty clever spot. He's going to move it, though, now. Must have been... I don't even know if that was spotted. I like that. But he is rotating back to lower stairs, which can be kind of piped out fairly easily if its spot is known.
That's the 4th time he's moved his sentry gun, the 4th different spot he's taken. And I like that, because the sentry guns are easy to spam out before the push if you know where they are. But if you're not sure, if they can be in 4 different spots, it's really tough. And when you take that push in, you kind of just have to guess where it is and hope you get it right, or if not, adapt very, very quickly. So, you know what I like that he's changing the spot around so often as he is.
Yeah, Daffodil takes some damage, is able to kind of sneak out. Alexandros also kind of same situation. Spits some damage out, but kind of a little banged up, had to back up all the way. Daffodil rotating a little bit harder now. Yeah, it's a shot towards Nazara, but no kill. Daffodil has gone down on the sniper. Nazara gets forward a little bit, and it looks like XPS is trying to physically push him forward. Wasn't quite able to make that happen, and Alexandros has gone down on the side, unfortunately.
Once again, it's just trades back and forth. Nobody committing to a push just yet. And there hasn't been a very good opportunity, to be fair.
No.
Players just poking in. But at some point, something's got to change. I mean, there's only 8 minutes left in the map, 8 minutes left in the round as well. Cinnamon maybe getting in behind. It is his turn to jump in. But once again, they don't know where that sentry gun is. So he's just going to bleed in, not get anything for his troubles, and shut down by the engineer. Alexander's going for the counter bomb. But once again, Big takes him down. And it's not going to be able to get anything.
Daffodil's still underneath the point here. And sentry gun has been moved to behind the point. Daffodil trying to engage with Jets underneath. Fig and Reflecto have picked up some kills. That's Hedgehog Hero and Shiny. Fig's got Ubersaws. The XBS out here has been forced to use it. They're stabilizing for a little bit here, but still kind of the point half captured. Brule has the charge. They're going to come in here. Obstacle has the Uber charge used on him. Does get the easy kill on Alexandros. The sentry gun has down. Daffodil's Uber's fading off. We have double pyro on the point. As Jet's already down. Hedgehog Hero and Shiny still fighting. Cinnamon trying to come up from underneath. Is going to get the flank on XBS. Getting some capture time. But our pyro gets air shot. And Cinnamon does burn down Reflecto and Brule. They're thinking about it, but there's going to be respawns here. This is not going to be effective. Reflecto gets chewed up, and Brule going to have to back up here. Shiny Mareep teams just holding it down on this goalie wash defense.
Barely. That should have been their point to lose after like dropping 2 players and getting Uber charge forced out from underneath you. But somehow managed to hold out with those 2 pyros coming out of the point, doing enough work to be able to stall off players for long enough that the respawners could come in. Zara kills himself up top in River. Cinnamon's taking a whole lot of damage because of that, but he's going to get arrowed right back up. So they had that big advantage, XPS did with the team, but I think as soon as Nazara went in and did that, it was kind of time for them to call that off. And once again, they're back in this passive position, which they've been in for a strong 4 minutes already.
Well, yeah, on the positive side of things, if they hold it for another 4 minutes and 15 seconds, they'll get a reset and could just get a clean mid-fight and then have a minute and a half to win a round, but, you know.
No, for sure. That's a way to do it. Reflecto now on the sniper class. Poking in through River. He's looking for the engineer or the sentry gun or something. XPS is way too far forward to be hit by that shot. He's going to go for that gun. Just making Shiny's life a little bit harder, forcing him to move over to the right-hand side. Now Jets has come up to challenge him.
Yeah, and Alexandros has gone down here, so a player advantage. Looks like, well, they want to respond to that fairly quickly. Fig has gotten sort of isolated by himself. The wrapping around underneath the point, going to throw some stickies out there. Does get Shiny with some damage. There's a scout down here too, but Nazara getting the kill on Fig before going down to Daffodil. But Daffodil will get flushed out and picked off by Jets. So it's 3 players down for Gewpcci gang.
That's such a strange decision to bleed in 2 players right after your sniper goes down. I'm not sure I agree with that. Maybe if the sniper didn't go down, but as soon as Reflecto dies, you need to be calling that off. And suddenly there's a fight here on second. XPS making this Uber charge trade. Brule popping off in kind. Shiny trying to dodge around these rocks. Doing a great job so far. Reflecto and Fig both getting cleaned up by Jets, who had 2 quick shots to clean those 2 up. Now they're over in choke. Managing the frag on a Brule. Now they gotta watch out in the back lines. There is Daffodil, but Alexandros in for the defense, making sure that he doesn't have an easy time. He's gonna have to contest second now, but a big fight from Hedgehog Hero, connecting that one for sure.
Yeah, huge pipe there. Daffodil could have caused some trouble coming off that hard blue ledge right on top of the whole team if he came in unspotted. But yeah, this is a huge swing of momentum as they're going to take the middle point. They're going to push those spawners back so they're not spawning with the team up forward here. Nice trap from Fig. Does get a kill on Nazara though, and that might slow them down just enough to wait and say, okay, let's get the Uber charge. Well, they were going to wait for Nazara to respawn, but they bled Jets as well, so this could get dangerous for him. On the flip side, though, if Gewpcci gang get too aggressive, they are going to fight into an Uber charge here, and they don't want to get too many players too close to that Uber charge. There goes Fig, and there goes Reflecto. They have forced that charge out that I was mentioning, but they've lost 3. Brule at 60% needs to not get trapped here, but thankfully is towards the backside of the second point rapidly. Alexandros is pushing through Riverside, is going to see Cinnamon, who just checks him there, and things are going to reset. But now it is the Gewpcci gang holding last. They're going to have an Uber charge here, but it would be risky to push out here with the pyro. They're thinking about it though. Daffodil out here has the power jack, a little bit of speed boost there.
Losing 3 players and the point just for an Uber charge, that's quite a lot, but of course it does put you in a position where you're now able to retake this second point with your Uber charge advantage, and I guess your pyro if that's the way you want to go. They have swapped off it. The Cinnamon getting cleaned up by Hedgehog Hero. This isn't really going the way they wanted to. Jets actually also going to be able to go for the back half. There's the Uber charge and a lot of fighting happening here on the second and middle point, but I don't think it's going to matter eXtine because Jets is on that last. Nobody can test.
Wow. Great heads up play by Jets. As that fight just came out there and, you know, was a fairly decent exchange for Brule and company. Nazara did a really good kind of just slide off the rock to stay alive and dodge that fall damage. But then they both needed arrows, couldn't get it. Jets, absolutely clutch play. Shiny Mareepfan, 28 minutes of defense, pretty much.
Now, unless they want to go to map 3, they are going to need 2 more rounds. Absicle going down very early. Alexandros slimming a lot of early frags happening in this mid-fight so far. Brule's very low, and it's going to be Nazara who cleans up onto that frag, so it doesn't look too promising if they don't want to go to third map. XBS going down is going to be a nice little consolation prize for this midpoint, but the fact that they lost 5 of their players with only Daffodil running back to the last point means that with only minute 45 on the clock, eXtine, this is going to be really, really tough if Gewpcci gang want to tie this matchup.
Yeah, definitely. There was pretty historic goalie wash run back I mentioned in our last cast yesterday, but at the same time, gonna need to get that momentum rolling soon. The frag on Nazara certainly helps. Really, Uber charges are even. They didn't concede second at all. Cinnamon going to go through a drop down here. And pushing forward, Cinnamon hasn't bombed yet. Now tries to come around Spire. Gets pretty chewed up. XPS full health still. Reflecto also getting chewed up, but has good options here. Alexander has pushed out Brule and is chasing. Looks like we'll get the trade there. So Brule has gone down. Only 2 players up for Gewpcci gang. Minute on the clock. Jets is gonna, well, Nazara actually doing the cleanup there on Daffodil. Daffodil trying to get some pressure on XPS, and it looks like the rollback is going to get rolled back. Not going to happen today.
I think after that fight, I'm going to have to call it. 45 seconds on the clock, and they're holding the last point. It's pretty much impossible at this point, if not actually impossible, to go all the way to the enemy team's last point, which means we're going to be seeing a third map eXtine.
Yeah.
Of course, Snakewater is that last one. So both teams being able to win their own pick. Both matches going within one round, assuming they don't cap this point, which to be fair, they might. There's still 20 seconds on that clock, and they've gotten 4 frags. So unless Fig can just be the best demo man in the world, Nazara's bombing in onto him, they end up trading. So it will be a 2-0 score line for this second map. An unfortunate way to end it for Gewpcci game, but they're going to have another chance.
Yeah, definitely. You know, not going to be completely happy with that. It was such a close game throughout, and definitely, obviously, going to be a little bit disappointed in their inability to push last. You know, whether it's true or not, I think, you know, in the locker room, they're going to be like, that was just goalie washed. You know, we don't have any problem. You know, like, we don't have any problems. There's nothing to worry about, guys. Like, don't worry about it. It was just goalie washed. Like, screw that map. You know.
Yeah,
it's like probably what they're just telling themselves, you know, because they had plenty of fine moments there. It just they definitely did get, you know, stuff down a little bit more. You know, the ways that they were, you know, winning that first map just was not happening on goalie wash. You know, Daffodil was less scary. Reflecto just, you know, kind of got caught in a lot of situations. You see a Obstacle on the bottom of the scoreboard, tied with Fig. And on the other hand, you have Shiny with 63 points. We don't have logs, but obviously some big frags there. Followed up with a bunch of points by Jets, who was on the sniper. So I'm for a bit. So I'm sure that helps. But and that back cap was humongous.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, I think the real, like, it started at the beginning, there were a couple of opportunities for Gewpcci gang, right? But they kind of just rushed them. And it seemed really weird to me that they would take these opportunities. I think the very first push, they pushed in 5v6, which is like, okay, maybe it's going to work. But then the demo man gets sniped immediately. And at that point, there's no way you're going to win that push 4v6, no demo man, no scout. That's just not going to happen for you. You need to back off. And they overcommitted. I think everybody died in that except for Brule or something.
Yeah.
So just really, I don't know, a couple of early mistakes, and then after that, they were never able to get the same kind of an opportunity again.
Yeah, for sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to take a little bit of a break for our voices because not only do we have this final map on our way, we are going to be heading towards our grand finals after this, up against Froyotech, who've already booked their spot there over with a defeat over Midnight Society. So stay tuned. Not only are we excited for Snakewater, but obviously that grand finals going to be awesome as well. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Essentials.TF monthly monthly cup, and we are in the playoff round, the semifinals. We have actually made it to our third map in Shiny Mareepfan versus Gewpcci Gang. I'm one of your two casters tonight, eXtine, and I'm joined by Cornpop. Cornpop, how you holding up?
Oh, I'm doing all right. We've had a long match so far. I think we started at 7 o'clock Eastern. It is now to 8:45. So we've been almost 2 hours, but it's been 2 hours of great TF2. Okay, that first map went golden cap. Second map was extremely back and forth, and it was 0-0 until I think 28 minutes in or something like that.
Yeah.
Now we're here on Snakewater, the decider. Winner of this will go on to the grand finals where they'll have a chance to compete for $600. Ooh, it's getting intense, eXtine. It's getting intense.
Yeah, definitely. The decider, and will be an interesting mix because, I feel like, process kind of more open battlefields. Your roamer is able to make like really big jumps and having an impact through that. Goalie wash, very closed down and defensive on last. And both teams, both of these teams kind of had their own strengths with Gewpcci Gang doing really good on process and Shiny Mareepfans pulling off that defense. This is kind of a blend, like you can really have some pretty solid defenses of last. But also, as I mentioned, some of these points a little bit more open. And so, a lot of bombs and players repositioning themselves can be really dangerous. So this is kind of the perfect conclusion to these two teams facing each other tonight.
And of course, after this, we will be casting the grand finals. It'll be the winner of this match versus 5hinymareepfan. Should be another exciting match, I hope, at least. Of course, that's coming up after this. That'll be another best of 3. So yesterday was all best of 1s. I believe the beginning of today was also best of 1s. But now they're into the best of 3 territory. We are matches going to be obviously are taking a little bit longer, but that's all right. It's, as I said, it's been good TF2. So I'm perfectly happy to keep casting. I'll cast until I sit here and drop dead next time, as long as I'm watching good TF2.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. And I imagine that we should be getting started fairly soon here. I'm still just waiting for a few more players to get into the server. But
yeah, I think we're at 10 players, and XBS is in spec, so shouldn't be too much longer now, guys. And we can talk about Snakewater a little bit as a map next time. I think we got really good maps here. There's some maps in TF2 where you watch them and you're like, oh, great, it's Granary, yay. But like these 3 that we got are actually really fun to watch most of the time. Process was a blast, back and forth the whole time. Goalie Wash did sit on last for a little bit, but most of the map was very back and forth despite no rounds being exchanged. And Snakewater is another one where you often see a whole lot of back and forth. Be pretty open on that second point for snipers to peek in. Last point as well. To be great for a couple of specific off classes. I'm thinking heavy, I'm thinking sniper. So there's a lot that can be done on this map. One of my favorites to watch. I said that about the last 2 maps, but as I said, we got really good maps here.
yeah, I agree. Snakewater definitely, a newer classic for TF2. But just really kind of hits the rhythm of 5CP, interesting mid fights, good transition between middle and 2. And also a very, kind of clearly defined areas between second and last with kind of varying ways to attack or approach it. And certainly the capabilities to run a variety of classes and setups,
So eXtine, we've watched I think before this match started, we weren't super familiar with these players or with these teams. We definitely seen them before, most of them at the very least, but I don't believe these are 2 established teams, so we haven't seen them play together. Now we have for 2 whole maps. Do you have a prediction going into this decider?
I think that Brule and company will probably take it. The Gewpcci Gang, it seemed like they had a bit better potential in deathmatch in the first map. Got a little frustrated, but still were able to pull out the victory. And then that second map really only, got away from them because of that back cap. The last final round, they had to play it, just a little bit different and aggressively. And then it sort of, fell apart and then fell apart some more. So it was more of a 1-0 than a 2-0. But I just think that, if that wasn't their map, and it was still, you know, really that close, they probably have better odds here. That's going to be my final answer.
All right, I can respect that. I think I'm gonna go the other way. Before this match started, I was definitely on Team Gucci Gang. Maybe not, I mean, not like cheering. I didn't really have an opinion that way. But
Yeah, yeah.
in terms of predictions, I would have given it to them before this started, just because they have probably more invite talent on them. Albeit it was kind of low invite, and the other team is definitely a lot of high intermediate players. So now, after seeing those two matches, I kind of want to give it more in favor of Shiny Mareepfan. Specifically, Shiny has been playing really, really well. From what I've seen, Hedgehog Hero at the same time has been one of my favorite players to watch for a long, long time. I know at Rewind 2, we kind of touched on this before the match started, but at Rewind 2, he went completely off, despite his team not doing too great in that. So I'm going to give it to them overall. That second map was just a little bit too close of a score, or dominating the scoreline in the end. So here we go. First mid-fight eXtine. It is map 3 in Gewpcci Gang versus Shiny Mareepfan.
Yeah, this will be the decider, and it is a fairly significant monetary difference, either 100 to the players or 300. As this engagement goes underway, though, Gewpcci Gang taking control of the top fairly early. Alexandros kind of getting floated up. Will get picked off. The bomb from Reflecto coming in. Reflecto does get the kill on XBS. And those bombs going to be playing a huge part in these fights. Cinnamon down as well. But Shiny and Nazara, will they be able to accomplish anything? Jets is in here as well, jumping around, but both the scouts are down. Nazara, nothing left. Hedgehog Hero going for a hero play here, but going to get cleaned up. 4 surviving for the Gewpcci Gang, including, most importantly, Brule.
Yeah, I talked, right before the match started, I talked some good things about the players on Shiny Mareepfan, but I was going to say if we had time, the only thing is that if Reflecto shows up big, this could go in their favor. And there he goes on that mid-fight, taking down the medic with a beautiful bomb and a beautiful second rocket after we saw that XBS had surfed it away. That puts Brule at 100% uber charge, whereas XBS only at 60. Coming in, looks like it's going to be going towards Shutter as they take this push forward. They've got a little bit of time to work with. They can't be too slow here. There is a gun that's been built up. They pop in big, jumps very aggressively forward. Alexandros jumps the medic, but she's already got that uber charge popped off. There's nobody really playing this point. They need to be on this right side to be able to take down these players. They're going to get the gun, but it's so late. They're going down as well. Suddenly, this is a bit of a disaster zone for them. Cinnamon's in so deep, and he's going to be able to get the frag onto XPS with the help of Reflecto, and they're all dying on the side of Gewpcci Gang. And that's going to... Or, sorry, Shiny Mareepfan. The Gewpcci Gang take the first round.
Yeah, very well played uber push in there from Gewpcci Gang, and interestingly, you know, coming out of Shutter side and then actually kind of just working across the point and taking, you know, from their perspective, the left side while the defense was holding the right side. And then once Cinnamon got on the point, Reflecto came back in as well, creating a very nice pincer movement and just helping the team, you know, finish off that pressure. We'll see how it goes here now. Cinnamon getting a decent little skip forward is going to take the kitchen, just hanging out there. Shiny getting stuff while XBS tucked away over on the catwalk side. Here comes the bomb from Reflecto. Can't find XBS, but does find Hedgehog Hero. Alexandros going down as well after cleaning up the bomb from Reflecto. It's a 3v3, both medics up. Nazaro and Fig trading, so now it's a 2v2. Scout medic, scout medic. Shiny is gonna test his luck against Daffodil. Very slowly has conceded the capture. Now Cinnamon's here as well. And that's going to be the cue for XBS to back up. Says, nah, 93%. We'll find a teammate here.
Yeah, a little scary. If the chase had been strong enough, maybe XBS would have died there. But nobody was really in position to follow up on that. So he's going to be able to live. Daffodil, however, will not. Dies on that second point. Big bomb in by Cinnamon, being able to focus down Jets, the scout player. Nazara as well with a big bomb on the other side, taking out Fig. He ends up being a trade for him, but still not bad at all. XBS pops that uber charge. Brule holds it for a really long time before she has to pop hers. Alexandros in a bit of trouble here. Finally falls to the ground, cleaned up by Reflecto. So 3 players ended up dying, but the other 3 got back to that last point. And because a couple died on the side of Gewpcci as well, they probably aren't going to be able to rush this right back in the last point. But regardless, a 1 fight, they are going to be able to take that second point, and now they're looking at it.
Yeah, Reflecto didn't have the most direct impact on that last mid-fight, but I feel like the soldiers for the Gewpcci Gang are already kind of showing to be a bit more effective on this map than they were on Gully Wash.
Yeah, I agree completely. Yeah, I mean, we'll see for sure, but there is Jets up on Sniper on the defense. Alexandros is going to get a frag on a Daffodil, though, and with a slight uber charge, disadvantage. Nothing's really going to come from that except for Alexander potentially going in for another sack. He will just make it a trade as Cinnamon got picked off on the outside of the map actually by Jets. So for a very short second, there were 2 players down on the attacking side, but it's not going to be enough to actually do anything off of. But it's something, you know, with Alexander still in a 9-second respawn, players coming back up, it's going to take them a minute before they can sack another player in.
Yeah, for sure. So defense still holding kind of close to the lobby. They want to get Jets just a little bit more farther forward with that Machina. We actually have another, well, just temporary off class. Alexandros going spy to check to see if there were off classes on the other team. That is not the case, however. Jets slowly working forward does pay off as they get the kill on Reflecto. And situation is still just kind of chilling. Reflecto will be back in a couple seconds. And our team, the Shiny Mareep fans, not really able to fully take lobby, at least not enough to really encourage them to push out here. Reflecto has come up sniper as well.
The thing with Jets is he can get 100 frags, but if they're all just staggered on non-impact classes, they can't really do anything as a defensive team. Reflecto, as you mentioned, though, has had enough of this. He's going to be able to come back up on the counter sniper, try to shut down Jets or get any other frag he can. The difference here is if Reflecto gets 1 frag and it's, you know, on a decently important class, then they can push. There's not as much risk as losing as there is for the defenders. So this is a lot more scary with Reflecto playing sniper than it is with Jets.
Yeah, and Reflecto's revealed himself to Jets. Jets will be a little bit more cautious now, but Reflecto also has rotated to some different angles. Trying to work up the drop down.
He's getting rid of these stickies, but of course, that's going to alert the enemy team. Demo, Hedgehog Hero just spamming that with some pipes. Fig and Reflecto gets taken down. That's 2 right at the same time. One of them being Demo Man means this is a very potent pushing opportunity for the defending team. If they can get out here, pop even charge if they want to.
And, oh yes!
No, they can't.
Just about to point that Jets had a huge angle. Just gets a fat headshot on Brule and the drop. There you go. The defense paying off once again. It was a strong defense on Goalie Wash. This strong defense enabling Jets to actually just stay on the sniper. It's Reflecto, and that's a weird, you know, scenario where, oh, why'd they pop?
I have no idea why they popped.
Question mark?
I was even gonna comment, like, and the best part about that is they didn't even have to use their Uber charge, but I think they popped like either right as Reflecto died or something. I honestly am not sure. It could have been a misclick. I know that's definitely happened in the highest level before, where medic just misclicks and pops Uber charge when they didn't mean to, but that is a costly misclick. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I was going to point out, you know, that the continued sniper, you know, sort of unconventional in the last scenario. This may be a little bit more conventional when things slow down and still have the sniper. Jets definitely can still have an impact in this as Reflecto, you know, for example, trying to spam rockets from all the way back on those bats, but, you know, you can't do that against the sniper. So Jets, yeah, there you go. Gets a kill on Cinnamon. He's actually up to 6 kills on this life with his sniper rifle. And I think they could push harder, and they're not.
When people say if you're hitting your shots on sniper, it's actually a better class than scout to be run full time. The issue is nobody can really hit it that consistently. Reflecto with a big bomb in does get Hedgehog Hero pushed a little bit too aggressive, and this could be the end of Jets, but saved by Nazara. So he's living for now. I'm not sure how much longer that'll last. Finally, Absol shuts down the monster of a sniper, but he has to trade for Daffodil, and there is an Uber charge being popped off by XBS. They haven't even killed Epsicle yet. He almost got out. He got 3 frags before he finally got cleaned up over by Soft. They got a lot of trouble. Nazara gets the assist as Shiny gets the frag onto him. So Brule didn't pop in that, so they just managed to get a couple of players in. They did bleed a lot, but it looks like there's nobody really contesting the combo. So Brule's just going to be able to get her players respawned up, and now they'll be able to push in the middle point.
Yeah, that ended up a little bit awkward. As you just mentioned, should be able to capitalize on how the Uber exchanges played out afterwards. Daffodil really made a nice play, working through Catwalk to drop down behind. It just seemed like too much, you know, messing around by XBS and company. When they got that first big snipe in the second from Jets, I felt like they should have just moved and, you know, try to leverage their numerical advantage. Now Fig pressuring just a little bit from lower. Things will even back up with Uber charge advantage because Brule just, you know, they chose not to push, not to be aggressive.
Yeah, talk about should have moved. I mean, why did they not go? They had like a 50% ad. Here comes the bombing from Alexandros.
Not the best, but a counter bomb's going out as well. And if they can just clean this up nicely, then they are going to be even. But as I say that, they lose Hedgehog Hero, so that's unfortunate. You know, those stickies obviously so important with spacing people out here. Might get the exchange here. Nazara does pop. They will get a pretty decent pressure out. Also able to kill Epsicle in the exchange here. Nazara getting a much more meaty version of that Uber charge. And as it fades, things kind of reverting back to normal. Epsicle is down for, I guess, another 8 seconds, but Fig and Reflecto playing fairly aggressive and saw a jump around here from Alexandros. Great timing from Daffodil, but Brûlé is down. And there goes Daffodil as well. But in the meantime, Cinnamon gets a 2K. Wow, both roamers trading their lives for 2 players. And there goes Reflecto. Oh, yeah. Nazara now with big rockets up top. Can he get a Epsicle? Oh, it does. Beautiful splash. Nazar going to back up for the health pack in lower. Reflecto going to chase him out. It looks like the points are going to stay the same here.
A lot of hectic fighting going down on that one. I think almost every single player in the match died at some point in that exchange. So Daffodil not ready to stop dying just yet. He's in on this middle point. He's going to find the frag, or at least Reflecto will, on Alexandros. And Daffodil escapes with his life. So excuse me. Nazara, however, wants to get aggressive. He is going to find Cinnamon with that trade. Looking for something a little more juicy than that. His team's all around the mech, and they will be able to focus fire him down. Now they just need XBS to survive. Running away with Hedgehog Hero, but Daffodil's right there. Can't land the arrow. Cleaning up both the medic and the demo man. The 2 scout combo on the side of Gewpcci gang is going to put in a whole bunch of work in that fight.
Yeah, and Alexandros trying to come in here. Big rocket! Oh my god! Wilson!
Not a second!
That was some great juice level plays. He just fragged all over those scouts. And stopped that capture. That was huge for, you know, just the spawns, how that's going to work out. And actually, you know, fully enables them to keep the momentum up and pressure forward here. They want to see what's up on second point. They want to see where these players are at. It might be a little bit overly aggressive, but if they can get some frags here. The arrow missed trying to heal Nazara. Does get the second arrow. And bouncing around, we'll be able to get good damage on Reflecto. Barely surviving once again. Waiting for another arrow, but once again, the arrow misses. This time, there wasn't going to be a second arrow. Pressure continuing from the Gewpcci gang as Brûlé does have full Uber charge. They're going to push in through lower with a scout on kitchen and a soldier up top now, so very well covered. But Epsicle does go down. And excuse me, that was crits from Brûlé.
But they're not really getting anything from that crit. So of course, they lost Epsicle, as you mentioned, but now it's 100% from XBS, and they've got the one that makes them all shiny and invincible. So this is going to go a whole lot better for them as they're coming out on the second point. They get the frag on a Fig, who is very aggressive. Reflecto as well should be going down here, but he's going to at least make it a trade. If he even dies, doesn't look like he will. He's got a team with him. Cinnamon will end up going down, but XBS cleaned up as that trade went perfectly for the Gewpcci gang team. Now they've got 4 down below, facing them in a 4-on-4. Alexandros from behind. They got to watch out for him, but on 2 little HP, Reflecto finds that frag, and they're just kind of bleeding in one by one. Now taking their time, Gewpcci gang are going to have the opportunity to push in this middle point. Jets is going for a flank. You can tell him, or is he going for the back cap? He could be going all the way back to second. He's got to fight Cinnamon all the way back on that point. Nothing's really happening on mid right now, so it's just kind of Jets. And he's doing a good job, but finally Reflecto's in here. Just one soldier needs to hit 1 rocket. Jets is going to win one of them. He's still fighting Cinnamon. Finally, the splash off those boxes will take him down. Meanwhile, over in the enemy team's second, Alexandros eats a pipe from Fig as this crit streak once again gets popped off. Nazara very well. I was going to say he's very low, but he's actually perfectly healthy, jumping on this middle point, or second point. Team's with him now. Cinnamon bombs into 4 players, gets some damage, but again, cleaned up by Nazara. He gets cleaned up by Epsicle, though. It's just back and forth players being traded. And this is going to be the second point going in favor of Gewpcci gang.
Yeah, XBS took a good amount of damage there, and it was just like, nope, I got 20 health. So much madness going on here. I'm just going to back up. Ends up getting the bottle and then going all the way back to last. They will have that build advantage, though, so that's comforting. You know, they have been pretty comfortable on their defenses, but are going to have to get the hold here and, you know, hopefully push the Gewpcci gang back, because they are down 1-0 right now. And this is actually a very strange push out. XBS going to be forced to pop, struggling to find somebody. Eventually does find Nazara. And they will be able to finish the capture, getting the kill on Epsicle. There's a cap going on unless they haven't finished second. Oh, wow. And this time it's the Gewpcci gang doing some madness, pushing people out of the way of that capture. And they get the back cap.
They do, and they put it at a 2-0 scoreline eXtine. There's 15:45 left on that clock, so we're almost at that halfway point. We will be probably partway through this mid-fight. Fig and Hedgehog Hero getting here both at the same time, maybe a bit faster from Fig. Cinnamon, however, with a very fast bomb. He wants to focus down this Dome Man, but a great start from Hedgehog Hero, not going to allow that to happen. Reflecto going for that follow-up, but also not really getting anything at all. Daffodil now pushing forward, Epsicle as well. Nobody really defended from Alexandros except for Fig, but he's doing enough. Daffodil's back there as well, making sure that doesn't cause too much damage. With 4 left alive, they choose to back off the second.
Yeah, the bombs from Cinnamon and Reflecto getting pretty heartily shut down there. That's going to enable our Shiny Mareepfan to push forward pretty heavily here in a second, taking a little bit of high ground, but also actually now backing out through lower. They just didn't really able to get anybody forward and up on pipe or anything. They were worried about that flank that Daffodil did go through there, but obviously the players have backed up a little bit more, and they're just going to hit that reset button, see if somebody can maybe open up the Gucci game one way or the other.
Alexandros
cannot, yeah.
4 attempt at a bomb there. Life of a roamer. Sometimes it just doesn't work out eXtine. Sometimes you bomb into 4 players and they're all looking right at you.
Yeah, and it seems like Daffodil's been doing a particularly good job of looking out for Alexandros. A lot of times I see him making these rotations, and I'm like, ooh, is he going to make a hero play? And then Daffodil just sees it coming, and then, you know, obviously calms it, and other people rotate around, and they just focus fire him down. So they've made some good adjustments there for sure.
Yeah, that's one of those positions that maybe doesn't get enough love, the defensive scout. You're denying the bombers, but you're not really making all these crazy plays. You're not getting necessarily all the big kill streaks, but it's a pause eXtine, which is unfortunate, but you know, that's kind of what happens in TF2 games. I hope it's not a disconnection error. I hope it's something strategical or something, but more than likely this is going to be somebody having issues.
Yeah. So hopefully it's nothing too disruptive, like one of the medics or something. But obviously a bit of a pause here. I'm not sure if we'll have any word from our production about what might be happening, but we'll get things rolling along again shortly, I'm sure.
Yeah, one thing to know is that, well, a couple things. First of all, this isn't where the players pause. Of course, since we're in STV, we're a bit delayed, which means the players actually pause, I believe, 90 seconds in the future from this. So this isn't where they're paused and are able to break stuff down. But this is where we're paused, so we can kind of break things down here. There's not a whole lot to say. I mean, both teams are pretty passive. There is a sniper in the form of Jets on this middle point. So I'm assuming with the play from Shiny Mareepfan is they're just going to try to work in Jets. Hopefully he can get a frag. It wasn't too long of a pause, which is very nice for them. He's up top, going to be looking through his window, but oh, there we go. Gets the frag on Daffodil. Not too bad.
Alexander's going to bomb in again here without Daffodil. Well, no Daffodil. That means successful bomb. Alexandros does get that pressure and get the pop out of Brûlé. But we'll be respawning as well here. So 5v5. Reflecto now getting picked off as well from some nice stickies from Hedgehog Hero. Cinnamon looking for a possible angle, but is going to get spotted out by that sniper. That is Jets that's out here.
And here comes the pop in from XBF. They're going to get Fig and Cinnamon.
Ooh,
the back line, Shiny was able to find that one. There's a couple players still roaming around. Daffodil barely staying alive with that melee weapon out. I believe he's out of ammo. There's still Epsicle in the back lines as well, who got the frag on Jets, but is eat a pipe from Hedgehog Hero regardless. So it should be Ubercharge advantage in favor of Brûlé if I'm counting these correctly. It's not updated on the HUD, but that's all right. But a bomb in from Alexandros is going to deny that. Bombs in perfectly, get the frag on a Brûlé. Now it's XPS for the advantage. Doesn't quite have just yet, only at a 45% Uber charge. Back spawning is Reflecto, and they're going to be trying to defend this last point best they can. Trying to get the first point on the board. Reflecto gets taken down. Nazara as well cleaned up. 4 alive only on the side of Gewpcci gang. But regardless, not enough pushing power. They're going to hold for now.
Yeah, Shiny Mareepfan have 80% charge though, so they're just going to wait for that to come in. We did pass the point of the pause, and looks like it was Fig real quick here, but didn't really affect things on that defense. I mean, obviously they held it We're looking for this Ubercharge to come out here. They're rotating to Shutter side. Cinnamon does spot them out, but they don't care. That just means he's a little bit closer to the scout. But Shiny can't get the kill there. Good flash on a Hedgehog hero to make sure he doesn't take a lot from this heavy weapons guy. Daffodil does take a little bit to get him down. Shiny protecting against the bomb. They do get the kill on Cinnamon. That's 2 down. But they've gotten a kill on Nazara. They're still fighting. Epsicle going down. Has to get over there to protect against the point. Jets and Hedgehog still fighting with XBS. It's just 2 left. Now just 1. Reflecto bombing around to the point. Hedgehog hero dropping down. They get the finish and the point. Less than 12 minutes on the clock, but 2-1 now. And we'll see if Shiny Marine fans can pull it back. Give us a tie game once again here.
Textbook push in the last. It was a good fight
Yeah.
for a Gewpcci gang. I mean, they almost managed to bring that back just by pure fragging potential. But regardless, any team is Ubercharged. You do not. That's always a tough one. But as you mentioned, 2-1 coming to this 4th mid fight, all on the line. Still 11.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, this is going to be an important fight here. We'll see how it wraps up. Shiny and Jets taking opposite sides as the scouts. Alexandros pushing through Kitchen. He's going to take a health pack. Reflecto sees him, going to push Alexandros back. And doesn't quite get the frag there, but actually Daffodil going for a wrap. Alexander still elusive, finally gets killed. Jets cleans up Daffodil, but has gone down, so it's 2 for 1. The flank engagement not going so well. XBS has managed to get an Ubercharge here, fighting with Shiny, and might be forced to use it here. And excuse me, that was crits. And yeah, not going to happen though.
4 mid fight to be running crits on.
Yeah, and Brule and company do use the Ubercharge. They win, and like all 4 players are by second. They're like, cool, somebody cap second. They're like, oh wait, this is all of us. So Epsicle, excuse me, has to go all the way back. Daffodil's going to be there shortly, and actually Epsicle's going to pass off capture duties so that they can kind of continue this forward pressure. Nazara thinking about coming out from underneath, but going to get spotted, going to rotate back, and looks like our defense from their perspective will just continue to hold that right-hand side.
So this is a strong opportunity now from Gewpcci to be able to put their 3rd round on the board. 10 minutes remaining means getting a little bit tight for the Shiny Marine fan teams. It is currently 2-1 in favor of the Gewpcci gang. And so being able to get their 3rd round on the board, only 10 minutes remaining, that would be a pretty big deal for them. Popping in through the Shutter side, running in Epsicle and Fig. They didn't see Alexandros, who was hiding up above that Shutter door that they walked in through. They've gotten 0 frags so far. Reflecto bombs on the right side. There's so many players there. They're going to go for clear time instead. And that's good enough for me. 3-1 on the scoreboard, favoring now the Gewpcci gang.
Yeah, Alexandros being just definitely a little too cheeky there above Shutter. He tried to bomb in to stop that capture, but just gave him too much time. And nobody else was there to help. And when you're in that sort of situation, you're like, I've been hiding this whole fight and waiting to bomb the point. Can somebody bomb point? You know, you're like, well, like that was your job, bro, you know? So we'll see. That definitely makes this task a lot harder here for the Shiny Marine fans. Alexandro's trying to get a big bomb in here, but gets cleaned up on by Cinnamon before he can get that health back in. Saw Jets getting tossed around, trying to keep this fight going. Reflecto down low, does go down. Got a kill on Nazara first. Fig fighting with a Hedgehog hero, but Fig going to survive, especially with help from Daffodil. XBS out with 70% right now.
It almost feels like the fight has left the side of the Shiny Marine fan. I mean, that last fight, it just kind of seemed like they weren't winning their fights, and then they just backed off because they knew, all right, this isn't going our way. Now they are pushing on the 2nd point. They're getting a little bit desperate. Maybe they've been inspired by something with Daffodil in the back lines, finding Alexandros, Brule in a little bit of trouble. Jets isn't really able to put in that damage, and Fuck was back there to finish them off anyways. So it is even Ubercharges from both sides. It's not like they can push right away. Now, Alexandros and Jets still got a 10-second respawn. With Daffodil down, it would only be a 5v4 push. Fig is in. I guess he wants to go. He's always been a little bit too aggressive for his team. I think he's just going to end up dying here. Yes, he will. Shiny and Nazara managed to tag team him. But Brule and the company are there. They're still pretty aggressive. All right, they're going to back off now, though.
Yeah, there's been other circumstances where they've lost Fig like that and they've pushed in. I think they learned their lesson. They're like, nah, we don't have to push. We don't need to push. You know, why take that risk? 8 minutes on the clock. I mean, they don't necessarily want to park the bus. They're obviously just waiting for their player to respawn. They're going to get Hedgehog Hero, who did pick off Daffodil. Epsicle going down as well. And Brule, nobody to heal right now. Does finally connect with some of the soldiers. But also ended up being a little bit awkward just kind of due to the pressure there. XPS going to back up, does have the Ubercharge here. Fig going to try to pressure it out. with Reflecto as well. They do get it. Reflecto on top of the shed as well. Cinnamon on top of the point gets one rocket on the Hedgehog, now playing the point, but it's just him. So
the nice thing there for the Gewpcci gang is that they managed to force off the enemy team. They haven't really given up the second point at all. So, I mean, they're going to frag Alexandro. Daffodil has to trade for that, but Jets is in a lot of trouble too. Manages to sneak his way out there, so that's not going to be on the scoreboard at all. But as you kind of mentioned, you know, they don't really have to push the Gewpcci gang. They're at a solid 40% ad right now. They're up 3-1. There's 6.5 minutes on the clock. They can kind of just sit here, and I don't think they will. They've shown themselves to be a bit more of an aggressive team. So I think once they get supercharged, it's 40%. They could try going for it. Yes, they will. Thrown in with Ebsicle, Brule, and jumping in with Fig as well, jumping that point. Looking like they haven't gotten anything just yet. Nazara tries the bomb in the combo, but again, this point time, that keeps on happening. They jump into spawn, but it doesn't matter because there's people on point. Now, however, they're going to be running out. Shiny's hitting the shot, and needs to hit so many to make this happen, and XBS actually getting the Uber Styles and managed to pop off that Uber charge. They're going to save themselves from complete annihilation.
yeah, that was a good play there. You know, kind of delaying the inevitable. These coming back from these 2 rounds just going to get harder and harder. I mean, you know, pushed all the way back on their last, and Brule and company, you know, slight Uber advantage as well. They're just going to take their time, make sure that they do this right, and close out this 3rd map to get the win here.
Jets on Spy, I mean, these are the desperation plays that are starting to come out. We're not in complete we're screwed territory, but 5.5 minutes, and it's not, the clock is not getting any higher. Jets is now decloaked. Bebsicle, who was building, turns around, and we'll be able to take down that Spy, despite being on pretty low health from that Boston Basher he's hit himself with. But there's 100% from both medics now, as XBS, all right, he's at 97, but more or less, they're running into this lower area. They want to have the supercharge advantage, but it's not quite there. Ebsicle and Nazara both going to end up trading, and the supercharges both getting popped off as well. It's going to be a little bit better for XBS. Alexandros on the right-hand side, though, is getting taken down. At least only 3 defenders make it. Now 4, as they've gotten a couple off that respawn. Cinnamon needs a pipe from Hedgehog Hero, and I think this will be another successful defense. Daffodil trying to run away. Reflecto getting anything with his bomb that he can, but that's going to be nothing. Big and Brule, the 2 remaining players, are running all the way back. You know what? That was the kind of defense where maybe they could pull it into 2 more rounds, but it's going to be rough eXtine. They got to keep moving.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a crispy cap here. Definitely getting Fig is going to help things out. Might enable them to roll towards mid. Indeed, they want to do so, but I mean, they're pushing off Uber, so they have to be a little bit aggressive. You can't just be too confident, you know, pushing 4 people into 6. Hedgehog Hero jumping over the top here. Big ball in. Does get Brule, which is huge. Alexandro following up, get Ebsicle, but now forced to fight down low against the Reflecto. Gets killed. Shiny getting a kill against Daffodil, but the fight continues on mid. Jet's extremely banged up. Shiny extremely banged up. XBS got killed in the midst of all that madness. That was Daffodil picking up the kill on them. Just Cinnamon fighting here. Looks like the capture is going to go down, but you know, losing your medic in the midst of that, it's not going to help you as these pushes continue, and you actually just need to take last. I mean, mid is great, but you need to get last.
These scrappy fights, they're not favoring Gewpcci gang, but the reason why it's still kind of helping Gewpcci gang is because they're close and because they're wasting a lot of time. There's still 3 and 45 seconds on the clock. But again, Jet's going to be bleeding in here. Nazar trying to go for a bomb, do some damage. Cinnamon's on the medic, and he hits 2 quick rockets, taking down XBS. This is exactly what happened last time. Now, last time, they were able to follow it up with a frag of Brule, but with so many players down from their team, I'm not sure they're going to be able to accomplish the same thing. Alexandros wants to, but shut down by Ebsicle. Shiny as well, looking for this. But Brule's still fairly healthy on 50% HP. Hedgehog Hero, the last remaining player on his team, just putting up traps and saw. It's not over just yet, and Hedgehog Hero's got a fun little spot he's in right now, but that's not good for their comeback.
No, that's for sure. Only half their players alive. Hedgehog Hero does trade. That's decent to get that, but goes down in the end. Big and company going to charge forward, and just the more space that they can create here, that's the more space that Shiny Mareep fans are going to have to recover. Ebsicle going after Alexandros, who does kind of cheekily sneak around and get the health pack. Oh, Brule getting sniped down from Jets. That's a very nice pickup. The clock again, though, is ticking as Daffodil wraps around behind XBS. Oh my God, with Ebsicle coming from the front, going to just get the pincer frag. Easy peasy. Nazara, the only player up. They're going to spot him too in the lobby. Players are pushing towards last. They're going to finish off that capture. Cinnamon is on last. Daffodil there as well. Alexandros bombing in, but cannot deal with this 1-2 punch. And it is now 4-1 in favor of Gewpcci gang. Alexandros says GG. Jet says yay, $10. But hopefully we see these players roll out from mid, at least get a little bit more practice here and see what they can get done.
Yeah, Jets is rolling out on Sniper, so I mean, it's not like they're totally throwing, but at this point they have, or at least 2 players have sort of conceded in chat that they're not going to win. Big bomb by Hedgehog Hero. You can tell he's here to play. He might get Epsco as well. No, but XPS will. This has been a very fun minute, at the very least. The throw and Brew layout. Saw Daffodil not able to do anything. Nazara shuts him down. I'm not even sure where the enemy team soldiers are right now. Reflecto's back on mid, still fighting Nazara. Cinnamon's going to come in there, make that a 2v1 very shortly here. Shut that down. So they're kind of still on this middle point. I mean, all the way back when the enemy teams last are XPS, but they're currently losing the midpoint. And I think this match is kind of over eXtine.
Yeah, for sure. But that's all right, you know. It certainly was a great stab at it by Shiny Mareep fans. They're getting chased down right now and losing some more frags, but they've put in a solid effort on this map. It was tight for a while, and obviously our first map, Goalie Wash, was a super exciting experience, and they followed up, Process was our first map, but then they followed up with a great game on Goalie Wash.
Of course, they only need 1 more round. I think they'll 40 seconds left, actually. So this could be a 5-1 or it could be a 4-1 still. Coming in this last point already. The pushing the last one, you still haven't even gotten the midpoint strategy. Didn't work super well for Shiny Mareepfan to get their second round on the board. But that's okay. That means we will see Gewpcci gang in the grand finals of the Essentials.TF tournament against Froyotech, who have been waiting patiently for a long time now. And there goes Daffodil ending the match. Yes, he will. Shutting down Nazara. He's on that Pyro class. So 5-1 is your final score line for this game. And next time, that means we're finally going to the semifinals. It was a long one, but we're going to be going to the grand finals after this.
Yeah, definitely. And excited to see it. Excited to see how Gewpcci gang might be able to hold up against the Froyo technology. It's certainly advanced and hard to deal with, but you know, they've earned their shot. They've earned guaranteed second place money, and excited to see how that series is going to go down. Certainly a great showing, as we were discussing, by the Shiny Mareep fans. Congratulations for them getting this 3rd/4th place finish. Certainly a strong showing from them, and I look forward to seeing more from them in the future. Any final words from you on this series, Cornpop, before we take a break?
No, after that long one, I think I want this break as long as I can get it before we go into the grand finals.
Yeah, sounds good. Froyotech might be ready to go, so we'll see how quickly we can get this next series started, but we certainly need to give a little bit of a break to Cornpop and myself. We're not as important as the players, though. They might need a little bit of step away, so stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Grand finals for this monthly cup, sponsored by Twitch.tv, coming up next.